You don't stop.
To my people in the front.
You don't stop.
To my people in the rear.
Say what?
Throw your hands in the air.
You don't stop.
To my people on the left.
You don't stop.
To my people on the right.
You don't stop.
To my people everywhere.
Say what?
Throw your hand in the air.
You don't stop.
To my people in New York.
You don't stop.
To my people down south.
You don't stop.
To my people out west.
Say what?
Throw your hand in the air.
You don't stop.
To my hip hop niggas.
You don't stop.
To my niggas in the street.
You don't stop.
To my niggas getting money.
Say what?
Throw your hand in the air.
You don't stop.
Straight off the bat, my squad is known across the map. When y'all niggas show love, then we show you love back. Y'all niggas want beef, fuck it, take it to the streets. Y'all niggas gon' chill, then we sit down and we build. My squad finally here, unit of the year. We setting up shop and we ain't going nowhere. We want it all, even if we got a broad for it. We want it all, even if you got a 4 for it. We stage records, 52 card checkers. Represent the war until the Lord come and get us. You jealous fellas, I'm putting holes in vendettas. What's your body with 2 shells from a shotty?
Niggas wanna get me touched.
Nah, they can't touch you.
Shining and flossing too much.
Nah, they can't crush you.
Light on my toes, left from 10 feet, part from his heat. Play it softly, the truth speaks through this poetry. For me to call shot, you cop block my life. Had a little spice, devil eye, snake rise on dice. Have your fam call Christ, flip mode, battle for mics. While my shit be high price, I'm slashing dice. Feel me, lift the thugs out they creases quickly. Shift 2 keys in 2 weeks and gross 40 G's. Report me and live shortly. Slouch cat living off caliber breeze. You wanna get involved, better grip on tight. Take the next flight, we got a lock on the next bite.
I got the eye of a tiger that's planning to go higher. My squad is on fire and 2 death duels. If the label run the screw a show, I'm taking the real. I'm the man with the gap that be ready to peel. I'm the one next to split when it's time to ill. I'm insured by Astro, Red Cross, and Blue Shield. Watch us make a move. Catch us on Smoke and Groove, House of Blues, MTV News. On the bus with my flip mode logo. Taking flicks, hitting chicks by the dozen. Keeping shot running. Now I'm on a journey. It take you 20 light years to burn me. If you want beef, call my attorney. All that other whack shit don't concern me. I'm being felt. I got a title under my belt. I'm out to get the wealth. I'm about my squad and myself.
To my niggas in the front.
You don't stop.
To my niggas in the rear.
Say what?
Throw your hands in the air.
You don't stop.
To my niggas on the left.
You don't stop.
To my niggas on the right.
You don't stop.
To my niggas everywhere.
Say what?
Throw your hand in the air.
You don't stop.
Coming correct for all my flip mode brothers. Staff straight and higher than that is single mothers. Peace to my out click. Bitches that I bounce with. Everybody else get the gas like Auschwitz. Flow surreal like the rap bitch should. Type taking niggas out like they package goods. Rappers want a contest, they bugging. Straight up and down, we run the underground like H. Tubman. I'm the bomb, bitch, nigga rob. D.I.G. got robbed, God be my witness. Long as I walk this globe, I be spitting more verses than the book of Job.
Why are you ignoring us? Running and hiding and avoiding us. Niggas on the low, avoiding us. Provide flow, remain poisonous. Yo, your shit sound whack, still annoying us. Realize nigga ain't no destroying us. You're better off if you come join with us. Perpendicular, or analyzing my whole molecular. In particular, roll with my squad of old singular. I ain't in the bitches to fuck animals like Caligula. More hot shit to go get your water sprinkler. Fire extinguisher, rhyme prime minister. Come on, never mistake me for nobody else. Another blast, make your shit on yourself. I hope all of y'all know that I always master the art. Rip you apart, put your hand on my heart. Flip on #1 on the chart. Solo or collective. My perspective and objective is to win. All praises due to my squad, one in the same. Cherish every blessing I have to make I witness my name. Burn another calorie, come inside the galaxy. Put your money where your mouth is, double your salary. Hey dude, you know we stay rude, how on the prelude. Bust your shit bouncing the Honda prelude. Let's G off, nigga ease off, I make you breeze off. Break full, make you rip your jeans off. To my people everywhere,
Say what?
throw your hands in the air.
You don't stop.
To my people in the left.
You don't stop.
To my people in the right.
You don't stop.
To my people in the rear.
Say what?
Throw your hands in the air.
You don't stop.
To my people in the front.
You don't.
proud of our heritage. Somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white, it's always something pure. But I want to get the language right. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Dedicated, not to America's top model, but to the natural girls right next door. How they say in Avatar, I see you.
not what the mainstream image is. Natural hair is your heritage, but to see it without chemicals is rare as the pyramids. I was coming from the gym again, bumping Tupac, never call you bitch again. She crossed the street, melanin, glistening, felt the energy. Something about you so interesting. The prototype Eve from Genesis, ghetto empress, never see the resemblance. So sweet, so street and genuine, real black girl, I salute your existence. I can see it just kicking it, building an intimate friendship, more than just getting it. Down to earth like greens and cornbread. She don't need no weaves or contacts. Not judging other girls that got that. I'm just saying you the truth, never doubt that. Cause you got that.
Beauty's a sin, not just on the surface. The skin that you're in, you're already perfect. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. Beautiful girl, coming all types of flavors. When you love yourself, it's always gonna be haters. They got nothing on you. Just keep doing you, baby.
This is going out to my African queen. Dark skin, light skin, everything between. Looking so good when you step up on the scene. Smelling so sweet, so fresh and so clean. Even though we don't see you on the flat screen. Ain't no doubt about what you got in them jeans. I don't mean denim, it's your family tree. Yeah, it's all about red, black, and that green. So to your knees up, and Selena, and for all the pretty little girls. Going out to my mama, my favorite woman, and for all the women in the world. No, they don't love you on the radio, and they try to play you in the video. But you so beautiful and natural. Oh,
you need to feel, not just on the surface. The skin that you're in, you're already perfect. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. Beautiful girl, coming all types of flavors. When you love yourself, it's always gonna be haters. They got nothing on you, baby. Just keep doing you.
Are we living in a dream world? Are your eyes still green, girl? I know you're sick and tired of arguments, but you can't keep it bottled in. Jealous, we got to swallow it. Your heart and mind, baby, follow it. Smile, happiness, you can model it. And when you feel opposite, I just want you to know your whole being is beautiful. I'ma do the best I can do, 'cause I'm my best when I'm with you. Put down your bags, love. I know in the past, love, has been sort of hard on you, but I see you got it. I just want to nurture it. Though this love may hurt a bit, we dealing with this water, love. You even give my daughter love. I want to build a tribe with you, protect and provide with you. Truth is, I can't hide from you. The pimpin', they have to die with you. aftermath that you touching. It's destiny to be connected, girl. You and I, we can affect the world. I'm tired of the fast lane. I want you to have my last name. Yeah,
Let me walk tonight, ready for me, my dear. We gon' sing. I love you, I love you, I love you. I know what you're thinking, you are my mind. I know you're right. You're right, you're right. But it's the way that might take time. Open up time. Tonight, tonight. I know what you're thinking, you are my mind. You're right. Peace, family. Welcome to the Rundown with Renee. I'm your hostess, Renee, and I'm very annoyed right now. I don't know what's going on with my internet, and it's giving me every problem. All of a sudden, when I went to Facebook trying to share the show, then I get into all of these problems and issues. So, okay. I'm trying to get it together because I haven't even been able to really post the show like I want to, and then I'm trying to do it where I'm not doing it on the app, and so it's way harder, it takes way longer to try to promote it. So I don't know what's going on. I tried to restart my Wi-Fi, and yeah, so it's still not really doing what it's supposed to do. But I'm like, okay, how am I able to get on other sites? And how am I able to be on Blog Talk if I can't log in on the Facebook app?
Yeah.
Because of my connection. And then when I went back to the little F thing to re-download it, because I deleted it and then re-downloaded it, then when I went there, it was like, oh, your connection. Something with your connection. I'm like, what? But anyway, I guess we're going to get it in. I was going to play this clip really quick while I try to get this sorted out. But let me first throw it to my brother Psycho. Peace, Psycho. What's up? What's going on?
Peace, Renee. What's good with you?
Man, I don't even know.
Well, it sounds like it's hectic over there.
Know.
I know the feeling. I've been there before, running late, and especially when you're running late and everything, trying to hurry up and get everything all together. I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Yeah. Then it's always some old bull going on. So,
yeah. Yeah, let me give a shout out to everybody listening to the live chat. Peace and black power to everybody. For those who don't know, we live streaming on my channel, Psychopathiest. That's SYKOPATHEIST, Psychopathiest. And yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about because we ain't been on in a second.
Man. Okay, well, do you, let's see, do you want me to play like this clip, or do you want to go ahead and start building on some things while I'm trying to get this together, or however you want to do it?
It's if you still getting stuff together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, some of the things we want to touch on is apparently Colin Kaepernick has filed a case against the owners, which I knew was going to pretty much probably be headed for, because once Jerry Jones said what he said last week, I said this too after he said this when I was doing live stream talking about this whole thing, but Jerry Jones pretty much put his foot in his mouth and pretty much all but admitted that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed from the NFL last week when he made that statement that if anybody on my team, on the Dallas Cowboys, decides to take a knee or protest the national anthem or the flag, they will not play. And he came out and said that publicly. Now, he has every right to say that, right? But what he did was put credence to what everybody already knew, which is Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed from the league, and that's why he don't have a job. So now Colin Kaepernick has some evidence to lean on in order for him to actually pretty much file a lawsuit against the league and the owners. So that's interesting, but expected if you understood everything that was going on last week with Jerry running his mouth, because actually Jerry talked too much. Like I think those my exact words when he said what he said was he talks too much. Trust me, the other owners did not want him to publicly say that. You understand? And when he publicly said that, he pretty much was confirming, the conspiracy that Colin Kaepernick isn't signed because of his position against the flag. Some of the other things we want to talk about, of course, I know Sister Renee wants to touch on the whole Eminem controversy earlier this week. Unless you was living under a rock, pretty much everything that happened with that. Let's see what else we was going to talk about. Of course, we going to delve into the whole Waka Flocka "I'm Not Black" card, which is really starting to become popular online. Is really bugging me out. Again, these people are, cut from a different cloth from me. Must be a generational thing. I don't know, but we're going to get deep into detail about all that as well. And it's going to be some other things, the call-in number. Let me put the call-in number up here for everybody. There you go right there. The call-in number for everybody is 319-527-6058. Press 1 if you want to go in the host queue and chime in. And yeah, we're going to get it in tonight, family. So yeah, Renee, you there?
Yeah, we're just gonna make it do what it do. It just is what it is. I'm trying to get it out there now. I've gotten it out there a little bit. Like I said, I'm not using the app, so it's just a slower process. But yeah, I definitely want to chime in about the whole situation with Colin Kaepernick filing a complaint, because I want to get into the details of that and all of that good stuff. But before we do that, and while I'm going to try to get this out there a little bit more, I want to hear from you about Jemele Hill, because I know you did like a live stream or a couple live streams talking about her, and the fact that she was back in that white supremacist bullcrap article that was written about black men being the white supremacists of the black community. And then, before that, she wrote about Donald Trump being a white supremacist. She had her co-host, who was a brother, and a lot of other brothers come to her support, to her aid on that. Excuse me. And then right after that was this whole thing with the article, and she was like defending that and supporting it. And then she turned around and said something about, the whole Jerry Jones thing. She was very specific in her wording, I guess, in her language or whatever. And then, of course, she was suspended by Disney and ESPN or whatever for her comments about basically, I guess, boycotting the advertisers as far as for the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and all of that. So I would like to know your thoughts on that, because, so we went from her putting out the thing about Donald Trump being a white supremacist to her backing the article about black men being white supremacists in the black community, to her being, talking about basically boycotting the advertisers. What are your thoughts about the whole picture, like with her? What's the word on her as far as you're concerned? And do you feel like her comments as far as the Jerry Jones thing, like, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's like a gives her a little bit you know, like a reprise or whatever, or do you think like hell to the no? So that's something I've been wanting to ask you to see what you thought about that.
Well, yeah, I spoke on this earlier this week, but yeah, she actually is a very confused individual, and you could tell she's being pulled in a lot of different directions according to her tweets, right? Because first she was on this whole black unity thing and black power thing, you know, calling down Trump, you know, a white supremacist, pretty much what he is. You know, everybody, I don't think nobody disagreed with her premise, at least on this end. You understand, saying that he was a white supremacist and he surrounded himself with other white supremacists. And, you know, the sole reason, white supremacy is the sole reason why he's even in office. And that was very true. You know, we all stood up for it. You know, it was a bold statement to make, but it was a very true statement, and we was going to back her up on it. But then, like you said, she turned around a week later, might have been less than a week, and she co-signed that ridiculous article making claims that the straight black man is the white supremacist of the black community, which is a joke in itself. Like, you know, just a bunch of bitter war people trying to spin narratives to bash straight black men and make us look like we're the, you know, we're the scum of the earth. You know, that's popular belief. And then she turns around. After that, all the straight black men, well, most of the straight black men, you know, except for the feminists, you know, the men that are consider themselves feminists or follow feminist ideals, you know, they of course, you know, co-signed it and everything else, but these type of men just like to pander to women, and anything a woman says is going to be correct regardless whether it's false. Even though a man said it, if you read the article, the guy who wrote the article actually got the whole idea of the article from reading another female article who was making a similar claim. So, you know, that's for the people out there to keep throwing out there that it was a guy who wrote it. Yeah, it was, but, you know, he got the idea from a female, but it's still, regardless who wrote it, it's a stupid article. And then, so later, she gets the idea. Actually, though, later, all the guys cut her off or whatever after that. The straight black males, you know, got real upset because we was the ones who actually had her back, and pretty much is the ones that put her on a pedestal and helped get her to the spot that she actually is at, which is one of the biggest spots on ESPN, which is the 6 o'clock Sports Center. You know, that's one of the biggest spots. That's the Sports Center that leads into all the games that's going on prime time that night and everything else, or whatever the case may be. Handles all the hot topics of that day. Is one of the highest rated sports centers that happens throughout the course of the day. Because Sports Center airs Sports Center airs, no lie, about 13 times a day on ESPN. You know, all night long, from like 12 o'clock all the way to the morning, up to first take is nothing but Sports Center. You know, then you have the afternoon Sports Center, and then you have the evening Sports Center. So that show is on heavy rotation on ESPN, and they have like the highest, viewed Sports Center on the station. So they had a pretty prominent position at the station for the most part, and she pretty much afterwards, because, you know, and everybody accused her afterwards of pretty much catering to, she was either catering to Europeans because she was scared that she was going to lose her job because of the other Donald Trump tweets, or she was catering to the whole bitter wars females that just love to just bash black men, because she is one of those females. Let's not get it twisted. She is one of these bitter females out here who has issues with black men. I've had issues with stuff that she said in the past, you know, but again, I was willing to look past all that with the original Donald Trump tweets. But so now she goes on her soapbox, and, you know, she starts making these little tweets weeks later that you see on the screen. And after this, you know, ESPN gets on, decides that they're gonna suspend Jemele Hill because, you know, she There go the other tweet right there. The PR department sat up there and they told her, they left a tweet stating that Jemele Hill has been suspended for 2 weeks for a second violation of our social media guidelines. She previously acknowledged letting her colleagues and company down with an impulsive tweet. In the aftermath, all employees were reminded how individual tweets may reflect negatively on ESPN, and that such actions could have consequences. Hence this decision. So right after that, she gets, so now she gets suspended. And, again, after she did what she did, let's not get it twisted. Let's not think ESPN don't have their ears to the dirt, right? Like ESPN totally knew what was going on with the whole white supremacist black male tweets. And I'm sure they know about the reaction that the black men had after she made these ridiculous tweets. And they pretty much knew that, she wasn't going to have the same support now that she had before when they originally tried to suspend her. Because when they tried to suspend her before, all the men stood up and had her back. Even the ones that her colleagues, the male colleagues, are the ones who pretty much stood up for her, said, I'm not going to do the show unless blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And so now she done ripped her safety net from her, and now she got to eat these 2 weeks. And there's nothing she could do. She got a couple of people who stood up for her, but, it wasn't enough because, again, she burnt a lot of bridges. So, it wasn't enough people speaking out in order to really make a huge uproar to get her job back. She could blame herself for that. I really don't feel bad for her. I also found it interesting that Michael Smith, her partner, the one who originally stood up when they was going to suspend her the first time, he stood up and said, I'm not going on unless Jemele Hill goes on. So, but this time he didn't do such things, because I'll be damned if he wasn't on SportsCenter this whole week without Jemele Hill. So either whatever he said fell on deaf ear, but he didn't take that same stance this time around, and I wonder why that is. First of all, let me say this about Michael Smith. Michael Smith is a coon. Michael Smith is a house nigga. He got Hugh Douglas. For those who don't know, when they first started this whole show, because when him and Jemele Hill first got down together, they got down together on a show called Numbers Never Lie. And it was Michael Smith, Hugh Douglas, and Jemele Hill. It actually started off being a threesome. It wasn't a twosome. It was a threesome at first. You understand? And something happened at an event one time, an ESPN event they had, where they had all their colleagues and all the employees and employers and everything all together, and there was something going on. It was like a banquet or something. And Hugh Douglas showed up a little bit tipsy. And when they called the people, I think something happened with the Numbers Never Lie, won a award, or they got something, a plaque or something, or whatever the case may be, something along these lines. And they didn't want Hugh Douglas to come on stage. Well, Michael Smith didn't want Hugh Douglas to come on stage with him because he felt like he was too tipsy to handle it, whatever. And so when he went on stage, and Hugh Douglas went on stage with him, was like, "Fuck that! I'm going on stage. This is my award too. Like, I'm going on stage too." So he went on stage, and Michael Smith got pissed off at him, cursed him out backstage, told him, "Don't ever fuck with me. I'll get you fired. I'll do this and I'll do that and everything else." Pretty much, I got connections and all this stuff. Pretty much, I'm in the big house, motherfucker. Don't get your your field nigga ass better not act up, cause I live in the big house and I'll get Master to come down on your ass and make sure your ass stay in that fucking field forever. Pretty much, and that's and Hugh Douglas came out and told him, "Yo, Michael, you's a fucking house nigga." He told him straight up to his face, "You's a house nigga." And Michael Smith got him blackballed out of ESPN and got him fired after he called him a house nigga. So, like, I got issues with Michael Smith as well. Michael Smith gets on his soapbox and try to fake like he's pro-black when it's convenient and trendy to be pro-black. But he does a lot of little stupid little snake shit behind the scenes. I don't trust him at all. I don't like that dude. I don't like that dude. That dude, he seemed like the type that will bite your head off just to try to get up to the top. And then he'll sit up here and play these little games. Like I say, he plays pro-black when it's convenient for him. That's why I was actually shocked. He stood up for Jemele Hill that time and was like, I'm not going out there unless she go out there. Like, but then again, that's his home. That they are tight. They known each other since college. And for those who don't know, no, they're not in a relationship. Michael Smith is married to another female. And I'm gonna tell you an interesting thing about this little tidbit too. Michael Smith and Jemele Hill was supposed to date in college. When they was in college, two mutual friend that they both had tried to fix them up to go out on a date, and Michael Smith stood her up to sit in the house and play Madden. They tell this story all the time, and it's fucking hilarious to hear, by the way. She was calling him off the hook, and he was ignoring the phone calls because he was too caught up playing Madden or whatever. So he's a geek, and yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just had to tell that little story. But, yeah, this whole thing. Yeah, it's messed up, right? But, yeah. I have an issue with Michael Smith. Michael Smith be buck dancing from time to time. You know, he's an undercover coon. And Jemele Hill's a feminist and everything else. They both on that SJW tip though. They both on that SJW tip. So they real pro gay and pro feminist and pro whatever. That's why they came down so hard on Cam Newton. That's another thing. They came down hard on Cam Newton over that quote unquote sexist comments. And which is hilarious because when they came down on him over the sexist comments, they mentioned her racist tweets, but swept it under the rug. And they said, I quote, I don't really want to hear anything about racist tweets that she made years ago that isn't even relevant to what's going on right now. It's like, this is about Cam Newton and his sexist tweets. I don't really care about what happened with that racist stuff years ago. They said this. They said this. So, like, again, we got to be careful.
Why not? Y'all bring everything else out on everybody else.
Yeah, right?
You know? So, hey, kind of out of fair play, as they say. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I just have been wondering what were your thoughts on that whole scenario, you know, after all that's taking place and kind of where you were at as far as with her. But it looks like, well, I got it out there some more. So, let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. So it did download? Man, I'm telling y'all, this stuff be janky, man. This be janky. But, what we're going to do is, okay, well, what I want to do is I want to get into, first I'm going to get into this Kaepernick complaint that he filed, like give the details on that. And then I'm going to play the Eminem freestyle. And then we're going to get into that, because I got some things to say on that. We're also going to play, the Waka Flocka thing, what he had to say. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, oh my gosh, I just don't get it. I don't know why things start going so wrong.
You still having issues?
Now all of a sudden, they're talking about, now something else is wrong with my connection. Like, what the hell, really? I just don't even know. I don't know what damn day it is. I don't know what's going on out here. And then they're saying, warning, no battery. What? For my connect. See, y'all, listen. Y'all know I be seeing how they be. I honestly feel like, you know, folks be messing stuff up purposely. Because it's like this, things like this only happen, like, right when I'm going on. Like, honestly. this is when I start running into all these glitches and these little issues and things. And it's like, why does that happen now? Like, just a second ago, it was all good. Now it's saying something about my battery, no battery, or battery has no charge. What? This is as far as my Wi-Fi, y'all. And mind you, I have AT&T, and these people are expensive as hell. Expensive as hell. And as much as I pay, this thing should be worth. Man, I shouldn't ever have any problem. But I can't even get the information right at the moment that I wanted to give about So I don't even know. I don't even know right now. Okay, let's see. Because now it's messing with my blog talk. I can't get back to blog talk to the screen. So, but I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and pull up. This is just a mess. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and pull up the other information I had, and we can get into that, and then see if at the time this gets a little better. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all this story, and this story is from. We'll go with Sports Illustrated. All right. So this is about Kaepernick. He filed a grievance against the NFL owners, and let's see, it's still going slow. I don't know if it's going to come up. I'm like, I give up. I mean, what the hell? I don't know what's going on right now. This is really crazy. Okay, well, Okay, it finally came up, I think. I'm sorry, y'all. Whoever's out there, I can't even see nothing yet, so I don't even know. But who's ever out there, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there. Okay, so let me give y'all this then about this grievance that he filed against the NFL owners for collusion. Okay. And like I said, this is from Sports Illustrated earlier today. Free agent quarterback Colin Kaepernick is pursuing a collusion grievance against the NFL under CBA, according to Jason McKinfor of CBS Sports and Mike Freeman of the Bleacher Report. The NFL spokesman told McKinfor, whatever his name is, that he is checking on it. Kaepernick remains a free agent since opting out of his contract with the San Francisco 49ers in March. Kaepernick was one of the NFL's biggest stories in 2016 after he decided to kneel during the national anthem to protest and raise awareness against racial injustice in America. Players throughout the league have continued protesting during this NFL season. As explained by Sports Illustrated's Michael McCann in March, collusion occurs when two or more teams or the league and at least one team joins to deprive a player of a contractually earned right. Such a right is normally found in the collective bargaining agreement signed by a league and its players' association. For example, the right of a free agent player to negotiate a contract with the team cannot be impaired by a conspiracy of teams to deny that player a chance to sign. Yeah, right. Okay. Does Colin Kaepernick have a legit collusion case? Kaepernick has hired attorney Mark Geragos, who has represented high-profile clients, including Michael Jackson, Winona Ryder, and NASCAR driver Jeremy Mayfield. Geragos issued the following statement. We can confirm that this morning we filed a grievance under the CBA on behalf of Colin Kaepernick. This was done only after pursuing every possible avenue with all NFL teams and their executives. If the NFL, as well as all professional sports leagues, are to remain a meritocracy, then principled and peaceful political protests, which the owners themselves made great theater imitating weeks ago, should not be punished, and athletes should not be denied employment based on partisan political provocation, carry a lot of alliteration there, by the executive branch of our government. Such a precedent threatens all patriotic Americans and harkens back to our darkest days as a nation. Protecting all athletes from such collusive conduct is what compelled Mr. Kaepernick to file his grievance. Colin Kaepernick's goal has always been and remains to simply be treated fairly by the league he performed at the highest level for and to return to the football playing field. According to Adam Schefter of ESPN, the NFLPA released a statement saying it was Mr. Kaepernick in this process and will talk with him soon. The statement reads, "Our union has a duty to assist Mr. Kaepernick as we do all players, and we will support him. The NFLPA has been in regular contact with Mr. Kaepernick's representatives for the past year about his options, and our union agreed to follow the direction of his advisors throughout that time. We first learned through media reports today that Mr. Kaepernick filed a grievance claiming collusion through our arbitrary system, and it's represented by his own counsel. He learned that the NFL was informed of his intention to file a grievance for today. We are scheduling a call with his advisors for early this week." So basically, he's saying that they basically blackballed him, like Psycho was just talking about, which we all know that, and that this was something where, these different teams and owners colluded to say, hey, nobody's going to, sign him, nobody's going to put him on your team because of XYZ. And we know XYZ being the fact that first he was sitting for the national anthem, and after that kneeling or what have you. So, and then we know, the whole firestorm or whatever that came about from that. So, I'm like, because my thing is, clearly this is collusion. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, we've been knowing he was whiteballed or blackballed or however you want to put it. It's kind of like, I guess, like Psycho, like you were saying, once Jerry Jones kind of made his statement, he basically, admitted that, hey, nobody's signing Kaepernick because, of what he did, of him not standing for the national anthem. So when he put out there like, hey, none of my players, you know what I'm saying, that basically does show already that owners like him and coaches, I'm sure, have discussed, not signing Kaepernick because of that. And so it's kind of like a unspoken thing, of course, publicly. But, I mean, privately, of course, I'm sure they discuss it. But publicly, it's like, oh, well, he went to this team and tried it out. Oh, he went to that team. And none of these teams are picking him up. You have some of these teams going and getting, like, somebody who's way less of a talent than Kaepernick is as a quarterback and signing them. So we all knew this was going on. I would like to get your input on this cycle.
Yeah. Again, this whole thing, it's not even surprising to me. Like I said earlier, I expected this because I understand how this whole thing happened. This isn't the first time the league got the same complaint filed on them about collusion. A few teams actually had filed this same type of case, and still threatens to open this back up. Like the league is, the NFL is ran like the mafia. For those that don't know, like they have a mafia mindset. These guys, like, that's why when I hear people say basketball is like slaves and slave owners, everything else, I'm like, nah, that's pretty much the NFL. The NFL is more of the slave movement. Basketball players actually got it good. They doing good. Like they sign their big contracts. they get paid all their money. They players union is much better than the NFL's player union, which sucks. The NFL has the worst players union in sports, the worst, and they have the worst contracts to sign in sports. And these NFL owners are vicious. They ruthless. You know, you only as good as your last snap. You know, you only promise the job from one Sunday to the next. You know, you sign a 10-year contract, it doesn't matter. You can be cut 4 weeks into your big contract, and they only thing they owe you is whatever you signed your guaranteed, whatever the guaranteed money is. That's the only thing you owe. So if you sign $100 million contract and only $15 million of that $100 million is guaranteed, yeah, they can cut you after one game, pay you that $15 million, and they don't have to pay you nothing else. This is how they do, and they flex these options, and it's going to be another CBA coming up, collective bargaining agreement. There's going to be another one coming up, I think in 2 years, a year or two. They got this one runs out, and they're going to be up for another one. And I could pretty much promise and guarantee that everybody out there that's listening, you're going to see a strike in the NFL. It's going to be another strike. I've seen this league have 2 strikes and almost have a third in my lifetime. There was a strike in '82. There was a strike in '87 where they actually had replacement players coming in for a few weeks. And it was almost a strike in 2011. There was almost a strike. That was the last collective bargaining agreement. There was almost a strike then. It came down to the last second. But the players folded because the player union is soft. So they folded. And they went on ahead and signed this messed up deal that they got now. And the next collective bargaining agreement is coming up in about another 2-3 years. And I can promise you it's going to be a strike. All this fiasco and everything that's been going on over the past 2 years, is the players are going to strike. We're probably going to go maybe a full season without football. And so be prepared, people. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I think you're on the money with that. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in this caller, and then I'm going to go to this Eminem freestyle in just a couple of minutes, but I want to kind of veer off a little bit more with this NFL thing, because I want to talk about the sister or the black woman who exposed the Miami Dolphins offensive line coach. So you know, a hometown girl. She's from my city. So I want to get into talking about that, but let me get this caller in here. 404, peace. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And my thing is taking a long time to open. So, 404, you there yet? Okay. Again, the blog talk is being janky. So whenever I can get their line open, then we can hear from them.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't know. Like, what is it? Is it me? Y'all are just targeting my show? I don't know. What is the problem here? It's always something. Hold on, let me see if let me see. If I refresh, will it come back? See, now it goes back to the little AT&T page I had before. And my service light is like blinking, or whatever that means. I mean, like I told y'all, this stuff happens pretty much only. Okay, now it's not blinking. Okay, looks like it may be. Let's try again. I bet you as soon as this show's over, it is gonna be no problem, y'all. Okay, so let me go back and see will it open back up. really in this form, like some. Okay, well, anyway, I'll tell a little bit about this story while I'm waiting to get back to my screen. Yeah, so it's basically, you know, this sister. Let me get her name. I don't want to mess up her name all the way, but it's a very trying name. But basically, what happened is she had met this Miami Dolphins offensive line coach, a white dude, of course. So this is swirling all the way, 100%. And she met him or whatever. I think she said in California somewhere. I don't know. His name is Chris Forrester. And so he's married from what I understand, but he was telling her he was divorced or newly divorced or something, this, that, and the other. And, you know, he was trying to get with her. Clearly, whatever went down with them went down. And so basically what happened is he sent her a video. I guess she found out whatever else about him as far as being married or whatever. I don't know. But at the same time, Tariq interviewed her. I don't know if you heard the interview. Did you hear that, Psycho?
No, actually I didn't. Who interviewed her, you said?
Someone was telling me, send it to Psycho, but I just knew. I said he probably heard it. Tariq interviewed her.
Oh, no, I didn't hear
about
that.
a week ago.
No, I missed it. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Well, it was sometime during this past week, because I can remember on his show last week, he was talking about this story, because this story has not really been put in the mainstream, of course. You know, it's kind of out there. If you look for it,
It's out there.
You'll find it.
Yeah, it blew up. The day it came out, it blew up. It didn't stay in the news.
Down pretty quick.
Yeah, it didn't. Like most things that Europeans do, it don't stay in the news too long.
Right. So basically, I'm telling y'all. So basically, she claimed like when she first met him, like she knew what she was gonna do to him, just basically like expose him or whatever. She basically claims that she's doing this because of the black community and trying to make a stance because of, you know, what's happening a lot with the players and all the hell they're going through based around just kneeling or whatever at the national anthem. So he sent her a video of him snorting lines of cocaine. Now, mind you, he's at the Miami head offices, okay? He's getting ready to go into a meeting. So he sent her a video of him snorting lines of cocaine, okay, with a $20 bill. He's talking about, you know, he want to snitch this off her, you know what, and this, that, and the other, and all that he want to do, and talking about he got a chocolate stripper addiction, and all this whole kind of stuff. So basically, she put the video on her Facebook, and from there, it, you know, blew up and everything. So she said that she's gotten all kind of death threats from like the KKK and everything for her putting that out there about him. They're gonna kill her, this, that, and the other. Now, this story, like, first of all, her whole damn life story needs to be a Lifetime movie, okay? Because Tariq got in there, he was asking some real questions. Now, she's a bad wench. I mean, straight up. But Tariq basically said that Tariq was like she reverse bad winched him. Basically, this is what he said. But the more I heard her story, I'm like, not really. But anyway, so she put this out there. I do like that she exposed him. I do like that she exposed, because if that was a black man, and he was an athlete, or even if he was some type of coach, oh, hell no. And it's a video of you snorting cocaine. First of all, you would be in jail because they would have arrested you based upon you was doing drugs on, you know, company property. Now, this is what's so funny is I was looking at different, you know, forms of this story, and a lot of the white media was saying he was found to be sniffing a white powdery substance.
Yeah.
I'm Right. If y'all get the hell out of here, a white powdery substance.
Yeah, like they don't know what it is.
Right. They would not say cocaine. It appears to be a white powdery substance. That's all. They were like, they would not say cocaine for nothing in the world. And I'm like, wow, really? But you know, if that was a black person, first of all, they wouldn't even say they were sniffing cocaine. They'd be like, they were smoking crack. The stuff all sensible.
Yeah.
Your offensive line coach, Tariq Jackson, was sniffing, not sniffing, but he was smoking crack cocaine in an office bathroom. And he could have been sniffing cocaine, but of course, with this man,
it gotta be crack.
Like,
it always gotta be crack with us. With us, it's always crack. Everything's crack.
It's always crack. Right. So, anyway, so she goes into talking about this. Now, mind you, this heifer is pregnant. She's pregnant. And so Tariq was asking her, like, so is this his baby or whatever, because the dude made reference to a baby, like in some comment or something he made. And, in the video, I think he said something like that. And he was like, oh, I can't wait till we can get high together again. Now, she claims, oh, I don't do cocaine and all that.
That's a
I
lie.
just smoke weed.
That's a lie. Because he felt comfortable. If he felt comfortable enough to do that on video and send it to her and say, I can't wait for us to do it again, he wasn't talking weed or nothing. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, let's stop playing.
Right. That's why I'm like, girl, if you don't shut up. But see, the thing about it is she knows she be doing it, but she's pregnant. So she gonna try to make it like, because if she went into, oh, I can legally smoke it, I can this and that, and then, I don't know, I've been meaning to look this up, but can you smoke weed while you're pregnant?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not supposed to smoke nothing. You're not supposed to smoke cigarettes either, so why would you be smoking weed? But she's sitting there, talking about, oh, I didn't do it, that was just him. When he's saying getting high, he means like, I would be smoking weed and he would be sniffing cocaine. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And so basically, she was a student athlete and all of this kind of stuff. Whatever happened, she ended up, as she calls herself, being an entertainer, which basically means that she stripped. She probably, what do they call it? Escort, wink, wink, and whatever else. And she's supposed to be working on music. That's the whole, in 2017, that's the whole handbook right there. You're going to say, oh, I'm working on music, I got music coming out, oh, I'm doing such and such. Girl, shut up. You a prostitute, let's keep it 100, or you a stripper or both. Like, let's just keep it real. But anyway, so that's basically her whole situation. Mind you, she already has two sons. And so Tariq was asking, like, are their fathers white? She was like, oh, no. And then she tried to go into this kind of like black power type thing. Oh, well, I'm down for my people type of thing. They do us dirty all the time. And, man, I'm telling y'all, I'm still trying to see if I can get in this. But go ahead, Psycho, go ahead.
Yeah, these bed witches are hilarious. This is the second bed witch this week that pulled this crap, that tried to sit up here and make it seem like they really pro-black and they really for the people and all this other stuff, everything else. Stop playing. Let's stop playing. You was dealing with this dude, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything serious. Obviously it wasn't anything serious with her. She probably was trying to get him for money, because that's how a lot of these bed wenches are. They get these old white dudes that's looking for a shot of youth, and that got some kind of black fetish, and they prey on these guys and these dudes, and they get money out of them. It's a hustle. Bed wenching is a hustle. Let's just call it what it is, because again, because I just look at this dude. Like, look at the type of dudes they get. Like, if he wasn't the coach of the Miami Dolphins, you really think she'll fuck with him? Like
Okay.
so we all know what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? You know, she was trying to get him, and I'm sure she had to do favors in order to get him. You know, because he ain't gonna just get her number and then all of a sudden just start acting like this for nothing. You know understand? Like she did
Right.
something for him to act this way. So it might not have meant nothing to her, but let's not act like it didn't happen. So then she turns around, she puts this video out. Why she put it out? I doubt if she put it out for the people. She says she put it out for the people. I doubt very seriously if that's the case. This probably is something along the lines of maybe she probably tried to extort him. Maybe she tried to get him to send her a whole bunch of money. He wouldn't do it, so she's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna put this video out." Whatever case, like this, that, and the third. Because like, there's no way you gonna make me believe that she didn't have sex with this dude or has perform some kind of sexual favors to him, and there's no way you can convince me that she put this video out for the best interest of the people and for Colin Kaepernick and all this or other stuff. No, that might be something that came along with why she did. Exactly, that was not the purpose of her doing what she did. She gonna stop playing these little stupid games. But yeah, this whole thing is crazy. The coach is gone. He resigned. He didn't get fired. They allowed him to resign. This, that, and the third, so his name wouldn't get too messed up. And then they swept it under the rug, because that's what the NFL is good at doing, sweeping things under the rug. But yeah, like I said, this is the second bed wench I heard this week try to pull this crap. I'll get into the other one in a little bit.
Yeah, so, remember I told you how I get that thing about my connection?
Uh-huh.
Yep, I just got it.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, I only get this when I'm doing my show.
That's crazy.
So, I can't access anything, like, nothing. And I'm so irritated right now.
Shorty Womp stupid. She said she was up there selling pussy for the people.
Okay. Basically, you know what I'm saying? According to her, that's what she was doing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And then what kills me is, I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
You still having technical difficulties?
Yes, I mean, I'm almost ready to end the show because everything I had, like, I can't do any functions.
All right, we could. What was you about to still go on about this topic right here, or was you about to shift topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you trying to get something together for this topic? Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to play the Eminem thingamajig and his freestyle, whatever, about Trump. That people, like he's basically the damn white messiah. You know how that goes, the white savior.
Mm-hmm.
That unfortunately a lot of black people are looking for. I mean, I will say this about this situation. I can't play the freestyle, but I'm indifferent to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm indifferent. Like, I'm really tired of, like, people, like, have to make everything a thing. You know what I mean? Everything is not a thing. Mm-hmm. And especially, we shouldn't be giving, in my opinion, our energy to things that don't deserve our energy. And that's something that doesn't deserve our energy like that. Right. So when I mean energy, I mean in terms of, like, putting him on a pedestal. Oh, yeah, Eminem went in, man. He went in. The black fist and all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, okay, I look at it like this. White on white crime, white on white whatever. We have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I mean,
black people have nothing to do with that. Don't praise him. Don't put him on no pedestal. He said whatever he said to that man. They friends. Trust me. They friends. They know each other. Okay? They have plenty of connections in the same circle. From what I understand, they did some things together before. Like, come on. Now, mind you, Trump has no problem attacking any and everybody, right? Especially when it comes to anybody who's on a more hip-hop type note or whatever. Right. Okay? However, I didn't hear him attack Eminem. Did you hear him respond?
Nothing. Nothing. He argued. He took his time to argue with everybody about the NFL, the entire league. He took on an entire league for them having peaceful protests. Eminem comes out, calls them all kinds of motherfuckers, bitch ass sons of bitches, and all. He called them every name in the book. And Donald Trump is silent on his end. Not one tweet. Not one tweet. Jemele Hill puts out makes 3 tweets on Twitter. Everybody, the world stops. Eminem sits up here, makes viral freestyle, quote unquote freestyle videos about Donald Trump, calling them all out his name, calling him worse than a white supremacist and then some, and he says nothing. He says nothing. But people want to act like he's not a racist piece of shit. Like, we going to stop playing these little stupid games. What does Donald Trump have to do to prove that he's racist? This is the question I have for these people. I don't understand how their brains work. How are you going to try to convince people that this man is not racist? They cannot. They can never come up with anything. All they ever do is can you give me some proof that he's racist? What's your proof that he's racist? Then you give them all this proof, all this evidence, and they'll just turn around and be like, well, that's not really racist. That's not really racist. That's not really racist. Well, what the fuck is racist then? Then what the fuck is racist? Like, I swear, in 2017, you let some of these motherfuckers call it, a motherfucker has to hang a motherfucker by a noose or from a church motherfucking from the top of a fucking church while calling them nigga 18 times and stabbing them in the nuts. That's what that motherfucker gotta do just in order for a motherfucker to say that he's racist now. A motherfucker gotta do all that. Like, if he did he really put a noose around his neck? Well, if he ain't put a noose around his neck, then he's not really racist, you know. When he put the noose around his neck, did he call him nigga while he's putting the noose around his neck? Because that makes a difference, you know. It's all about context. How you put the noose around the neck. It's about context. You know, if he put the noose around his neck and he didn't call him nigga, then he's really not a racist. You really can't call him racist. You gotta call him nigga when he puts the noose around his neck. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Well, it looks like it came back up. I don't know if it's gonna stay. But, I'm sorry, whoever was on the line, I could not open your mic. So, if you guys want to call back up, you're more than welcome to. If we're going to try to go ahead and get through this, next hour, hopefully, with no technical difficulties, or minimal, hopefully. Yeah. So, do you want me to play the Eminem freestyle?
You can. BET been kind of bugging with that stuff, but yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna play some of it, and then once I come back, family. Let me see. Once I come back, because then I want to get into this Waka Flocka thing. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna play that clip. Oh, shoot. Yeah, actually, that'll work out. I'm going to play this Eminem clip, and then I'm getting the Waka Flocka one, because it said it uploaded, then it didn't, but y'all know what's been going on. So, okay, I'm going to play this Eminem. Y'all, and listen to his bars. Listen to his bars, okay? Because that's all man, he got bored. Like, when I was looking at the people who was like, man, Eminem is everything. They was talking about his bars and this and that. I was not really impressed. And listen, I'm not saying that because, he's white or he this and that. I mean, for real, just if I just strictly looked at it from a hip-hop perspective, because I am a hip-hop head. I love hip-hop, for those of y'all who don't know. And so if I looked at it strictly from that perspective, I mean, it wasn't all that. You know what I mean? He had just little metaphors here and there, but in general, I'm like, okay. But anyways, I'm gonna play this freestyle, then we'll come back. I see you on the phone. Hang tight with me for a minute. Anyways, I'm gonna play this, then we'll come back. We'll get more into it, then we'll talk about, I'm gonna play Waka Flocka as well. Family, if you want to contribute to the conversation, you have to call in to do so. The call-in number is 319-527-6058, 319-527-6058, and make sure that you press 1 if you want to speak. And yeah, all right. Well, here's the freestyle.
Calm before the storm right here. Wait, how was I gonna start this off? I forgot. Oh yeah. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not, but that's all I got till I come up with a solid. Got a plan and now I gotta hatch it like a damn Apache with a tomahawk. I'ma walk inside a mosque on Ramadan and say a prayer that every time I talk. You get the mouth. I'ma stop. But we better give Obama props, cause what we got in office now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust. And while the drama pops and he waits for shit to quiet down, he'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops. Intensity's heightened, tensions are rising. Trump, when it comes to giving a shit, you're stingy as I am. Except when it comes to having the balls to go against me, you hide them. Cause you don't got the nuts like an empty asylum. Racism's the only thing he's fantastic for. Cause that's how he gets his rocks off and he's orange. Yeah, 6'10". That's why he wants us to disband, cause he cannot withstand the fact we're not afraid of Trump walking on eggshells. I came to stump. That's why he keeps screaming, drain the swamp, cause he's in quicksand. Like to take a step forwards and backwards, but this is his form of distraction. Plus he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform from Nevada. All these horrible tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers. He says he wants to lower our taxes. Then who's gonna pay for his extravagant trips back and forth with his family, with golf resorts in his mansions? Same shit that he tormented Hillary for and he slandered, then does it more. From his endorsement of banning support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand for the soldier that's slacking, comes home from Iraq and is still told to go back to Africa. Fork and a dagger in his face is 94-year-old grandpa who keeps ignoring our past historical deplorable factors. Now if you're a black athlete, you're a spoiled little brat for trying to use your platform or your stature to try to give those a voice who don't have one. He says you're spitting in the face of vets who fought for us, you bastards. Unless you're a POW, tortured and battered, cause to him you're serious, cause he don't like your war hero capture. That's not disrespecting the military. This is for Colin, ball up a fist. And keep that shit balled, like Donald the bitch. He's gonna get rid of all immigrants. He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. Well, if he does build it, I hope it's rock solid with bricks. Cause like him in politics, I'm using all of his tricks. Cause I'm throwing that piece of shit against the wall till it sticks. Any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm throwing in the sand a line. You're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more in your split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this. The rest of America, stand up. love our military. We love our country. But we... Hey, Trump!
Alrighty, y'all. So there was the Eminem freestyle from the BET Hip Hop Awards that recently took place. And I have to admit, like, every time I hear it, I'll be cracking up on the part when he say, he's going to build that wall taller than this. 'Cause that's just how they sound. So Trump's going to blow up a big wall and all of them Mexicans can't get over here, those beaners. You know, they keep saying stuff like that.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
He know how to sound like a hick very well.
You said what now?
I said he knows how to sound like a redneck hick very well. He understands their language.
Right. You know, I'll just say this, and then you can say whatever else you want to say, Psycho, and I'm opening fine. I think we got Brother E. Quanese, and I think Brother E. The thing about it is, like, nobody, like, when I say nobody, I mean in terms of, like, our ideology. Nobody would disagree with anything he said. We've said those things a billion times, a billion different ways. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with what he actually said, because we've already been saying that. You did have rappers who came out and made songs. I just recently saw YG in concert, and he was doing his song. You know, so I mean, people have said things in the past. People have been saying things. It's just that somebody, you know, of his stature in the white community to say something. But this is my other thing with that. That's why I said I don't care. Like, I'm indifferent to it. I don't give a damn. I don't like Eminem, and I still don't like Eminem. Like, that doesn't change anything about anything. And that's the problem, and this is what I was talking about before, when a couple of weeks ago we were talking about when they did the thing where the coaches and owners and stuff was down there kneeling, or they was linking arms together, all the different teams. And I said, too often as black folk, we value sympathy over substance. So even in terms of this right here, a lot of black people liked it because they felt it was sympathetic. It doesn't have to have any substance. These people don't have to have any actual substance to actually do anything that's going to be productive. They just can say something, quote unquote, sympathetic, and black folks will just fall to their feet. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And so that's just kind of how it rolls. And so that's kind of just my stance on it. Like I said, I'm indifferent. It is what it is. He said what he said. Next, and what? What's that supposed to mean? And I would, yeah. So go ahead, Psycho. Do you want to say anything about that, Claire?
Yeah. Well, again, it's not the best Eminem I've ever heard. That's for damn sure. He messed up a few times in there. It wasn't a freestyle. I wish people would stop saying this was a freestyle. This was not a freestyle. He completely wrote this stuff down. I mean, even in the beginning of it, you heard him say, "How do I want to start this again?" Because he had all this written down, everything else, and it's a publicity stunt for the most part, because he got an album that's getting ready to drop, and he kind of was hoping that Donald Trump gave him a tweet. To be honest with you, he was hoping for Donald Trump to give him a tweet, because that would just give him more record sales. You understand? Like, so let's not get this twisted. He had a motive behind doing what he was doing. He wasn't doing this because, out the kindness of my heart, I'm going to get back to the black people culture I stole from and everything else, this, that, and third. No, that was not him. And after listening, somebody mentioned something to me the other day that I didn't even realize the other day when I was talking about this. He didn't even mention police brutality one time throughout the course of that whole freestyle. Which is not one time. He mentioned Colin Kaepernick, but he didn't mention what Colin Kaepernick was protesting against.
He played on the talking points that are out there.
Yeah.
He played on the talking points. And that, what you just said right there is an excellent point, because the fact that he didn't bring up what the actual protest was supposed to be about showed that he was just simply bringing up the talking points that have been going around lately, which is about the people, you know, the players kneeling, but not why they're kneeling. Nobody wants to focus on that in the white mainstream. They just want to focus on them kneeling, and this is unpatriotic. So, yeah.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, he talked a lot about Puerto Rico and all this stuff. He was talking about white issues. He was talking about white issues. He was talking. Hello.
Yeah. I had just opened Equality. Mute your background. I'm at the open your background. Brother E, also please mute your background. Your line is open. I'm gonna get to you in just a second. Just mute your background. Thank you. Hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was just.
We hear you.
Yeah, I was just. I'm about to finish up. Yeah, I was just saying that you know, he pretty much I forgot where I was at. He pretty much, you know, just doing this for a publicity stunt. You understand? Like I'm not that crazy about it. Oh, that's what I was saying. He didn't even mention the whole police brutality thing and nothing. He mentioned a lot about Puerto Rico. You know, he talked hello? He
Hey, brother Equality, just mute your line. You're open.
He talked a lot about. He talked.
I think he did. Go ahead.
He talked a lot about Puerto Rico. He talked a lot about you know, a bunch of white issues. You know, he pretty much was coming from one of those anti-fascist movement type. That's pretty much seemed like who he's speaking out for, the anti-fascist people, the white people that punching Richard Spencer in the face. You know, he's speaking for them.
Right.
You understand? He's speaking for the people out, the white people that was protesting out in Charlottesville and stuff like that. Like, he's speaking to the white people, so to speak. Like, he ain't speaking to us. Like, black people need to calm down. He's not speaking for us or to us. He's speaking for white people to white people. That's what he's trying to mask this under he's sticking up for black people crap when he's really not. I don't even understand why this thing was even on BET. It should have been on MTV. That's who needs to hear this. The white people need to hear this. We don't need to hear this crap. We already know what the fuck he's saying. Like, well, you know, like, we already have our feelings about Trump. Go on MTV with that crap and tell your people about that. You understand? The only part that even impressed me about the whole rap, I said this the other day, only thing that really impressed me about the whole thing was the fact that he called out those racist Trump supporters that are his fans. That was the only thing that actually impressed me about the whole thing. Like, oh well, wow, like that, because you got a lot of your fan base of Trump supporters. So I want to see how this plays over with them. But other than that, I really didn't really care too much. Like, you know, again, what is he saying that Snoop haven't been saying for the last year? Snoop been saying fuck Donald Trump for over a year. So nobody seems to give a fuck. But, you know, like, you know, so it's Willie D. Willie D been saying fuck Donald Trump forever. Nobody seems to give a fuck. But, you know, Eminem says it, the world shuts down. So, you know, that's just how shit works. You know, a white person says it, everybody pays attention. It's a little bit disgusting, a little bit sickening, but, you know, at the end of the day, I kind of, like you said, I'm just indifferent. I'm not going crazy. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is what it is. I know it's motives behind it. So, you know, I just take it as face value. I ain't gonna put too much credence into it like everybody else is. All right, I'll pass the mic.
All right, I agree 100%. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to 219. I opened your mic too. I'm going to start with Brother E. So we're going to go Brother E, Brother Equanice, and then 219. You guys can speak to, like, any of the topics we brought up. I would just please ask everybody to please mute your line. Even if you feel like you don't have noise in the back, just mute your phone, and I'll call on you, please, so we don't have a lot of feedback and stuff like that. That's already. Okay. So, can you hear me good? You have feedback, Brother E. If you have something in the back, I don't know if you have a headphone on. I don't know if you have no headset. Something. Do you have YouTube on in the back?
Just me and my phone. Nope, just me and my phone right now.
Okay, well, once you get done, just mute your line, okay? But the line is open,
All right,
and
cool.
go ahead.
You know, this first time I heard Eminem's beat in his verse, as everybody knows that he kind of, it's almost like he paused what he was about to be saying when he was rapping. Anybody knows that? Unlike all his normal raps, he just rapped, but this one particularly, when he was talking particularly on Trump, he was pausing constantly. As anybody knows this?
Yeah, he was messing. He was slipping up because he probably had just wrote the raps like the night before, and he was kind of slipping up. It seemed like.
Yeah, but it tells you, say, you know, what is it with a lot of these Europeans when it comes to talking about their own? They're a little bit, you know, I'm hesitant. I'm starting to notice this, you know, like, I mean, you already up there, and you're up there with wealth and all this stuff. So why not talk about the opposition? Oh, you are on code. And people don't understand that these people do play on code. You know? He only did that just to get diversity energy to what the energy's already shifted here in America in regards to us. You see, a lot of black people that was constantly, you know, not getting it. When the white person said it, now they want to bring him to the cookouts. They want to say, this is my white boy. I mean, the mindset of a Negro today, it just amazed me. That say, you know what? These people are your gods. There's no answer to it. Because no black person is going to tell you what's been going on, what you already seen with your own eyes, unless a white person says it. So if you're waiting for white people for approval, then by default, you really love the subjugation you're getting today. I mean, it's like this. Black men that's getting killed in the street. A lot of people have no problem with it. And they some of us, not all of us. But now, the next step they're going to start doing now is, and they're already doing it, they're going to start desensitizing a lot of people, especially women, when it comes to children. And now with these teachers, and you hear them start abusing children now. That's their next move, to start desensitizing adults messing with children. Once they accomplish this, it is a wrap. That's how I see it. It's going to be a wrap once they manage to desensitize parents, either single or, you know, together, out of their children and the abuse they're really getting, sexually, all the above. That's why I feel that's the last final step they're trying to do. And they're doing it right with, you know, the Pizzagate and all this stupid shit going on here. I remember there was one news article, particular, of a European woman and some black chick that was recording her messing around with a dildo in front of a classroom, in front of students. And so that's the last and final step. Once they accomplish this, it's a wrap. That's how people feel. A lot of people are already comfortable and don't see the initiative. So imagine when they have full reign with the children. I mean, that's how I see it. I can't think of anything else right. I don't know if anybody has any opposition to what you said a while ago. And that's why I'm saying that's already in the works and coming now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I hear you. I have my phone muted. I was doing a couple things.
Did you get?
But okay. Huh?
I was saying, did you get that, Psycho?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me sit back a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Brother E. Peace, Brother Equanese. How you doing? I want to send my condolences to you as well.
Peace, Black Power.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, Black Power, Black African Power, family.
Yes.
Thank you, sis. And, definitely in these trying times. And I want to just give you a plug, send that plug out to Sister Renee, because we definitely were one of your clients that did recently utilize some of your great services over there with that graphic art. And if y'all haven't hollered at Sister Renee, y'all need to go on over and holler at Sister Renee, because she is the shiznit when it comes down to helping you out with, getting some graphic art to your business or to your organization. So salute to you, Sister Renee.
Thank you.
And also
Thank
your
you.
platform of Psycho and all the supporters and the family. But I want to coming behind or off of the Kaepernick, spectacle. Because when you look at the Kaepernick thing, even looking at Shannon Sharp and how they, how he has a white woman, but he's one of the ones that's being very vocal about this. And when you look at it, man, I don't think it is as genuine as we think. I think in a lot of times, even with the civil rights movement, before we knew it, we had a lot of people that were quote unquote on our side. But what we saw was people basically trying to jump on the bandwagon of the huge movement that we had with so much energy going toward African liberation. But what we saw is other people that hopped on the bandwagon, they got their efforts pushed. They got their rights, they got all that accomplished. But still, we still see the physical evidence of us in 2017 now actually get the benefits of those movements in which we exert a lot of our energy into. Going back into this whole protest thing. I don't see nothing wrong with the protest. I feel like it would have been better done if we had done this as black men, without this quote-unquote mulatto leader. And even now I'm looking at some stuff where he was talking to some other cracker. When the cracker inspired him to take the knee or some kind of crazy shit like this. And I'm studying and looking at some other stuff. I think Kaepernick has some ties with the homosexual movement. So I said that to say this, going to Eminem. I'm looking at what we see in the fueling is probably some of that transgender, that homosexual shit. You understand? They're saying that, hey, we want rights. You know that when they start talking about rights for black folks, it's somebody always behind there trying to get rights for them. You understand? And this is what we all always see this. So it's very mindful for us as black people to see how organic these people are inside having this inspiration. When you go back and see Eminem, just like they threw out the racist tracks that he did. Now, if you got this cracker, when he first came in the game, if he's talking about how much you don't need to talk to black women, how much black women are thieves and they only want you for your money. Imagine what he's having to see now. How you think he feels some way different about black women? You understand? You think he has more money? I doubt it. Cracker don't feel no way different, but he is appealing. He's being a magician. This is what these crackers, these Jews, they're always, when they go to Hollywood, that's like the magical wand. They want to control and coerce people to go over here, go over there. Like you say, Sister Renee, our black people are all behind goddamn this cracker messiah. Oh man, boy, Donald Trump really gave it to her. I mean, not Donald Trump, but Eminem really gave it to Donald Trump. Oh man, we always looking for some type of great white hope. And we do know that this same thing, Tyre, RBG, Big Ted, we got numerous amounts of people that have been talking about black liberation and talking about fuck them crackers for so long. But a lot of times they don't get the spotlight. But this cracker, like Brother E said, he come over in and he stumble and say any damn thing, and a couple lines, and it's like, ooh, he said some of the coldest shit ever. Because he was daring to go up against Donald Trump. But hell, surprise, we over here in the pro-black, black power community, we've been going at this power structure for so long. Not only with Donald Trump, whether it be Barack Obama, and I just encourage us to not be fooled by Eminem. This is another thing. Eminem's album is coming out in November. So that is 100% why you're seeing this shit. It was a publicity stunt. Of course, this is going to be something that has white people, the white people that he already had that was going to buy, and then it's something to probably get the pro-black or the black power brothers and sisters say, well, oh man, he must be saying something for us. He said, so they do this shit to try to manipulate black folks. But I say that's why we have to have our mind in place so these crackers won't, or don't feel like they can sell us anything. Just like that white woman with the NAACP. She had to feel like she could sell us that, or have some black people that would, but we have to be as a collective to tell them, hey man, we ain't gonna believe that shit. We ain't trying to buy it. So
and you and Brother E made excellent points. I just want to say this real quick, and then 219, I'm coming to you. Yes, absolutely. This is a publicity stunt, also like Psycho was saying. This is, you know, he's got music getting ready to drop. Understand that these people, you know, we always talk about America being a corporation. So understand that these people know marketing, okay? These people know how to market. They know how to promote, okay? They deal with people whose job it is to come up with, okay, this is how we're going to pitch it to this group. This is how we're going to pitch it to that group. This is where we're going to, you're going to go on this show. You're going to go over here on this show. You're going to go and do this concert over here. Okay, then we're going to do, they have all of this stuff mapped out. Like, don't think this stuff is so, like, just off the cuff and just, you know, he was just really just, you know, like, Equani said, I mean, like, Psycho said, this was written. You feel me? It wasn't like he just came out like, yeah, you know, he just going in on, no, this is scripted, this is orchestrated, the pieces of the puzzle have already been put together, okay? And then they introduce it to us, and then we sit there and say, damn, man, damn, that's right. And then people were saying, I've seen a couple of videos, people were like, see, he put up the black fist, man. See? And then somebody said, oh, gosh, this fool actually said, Eminem has always, what do you think? Eminem has always fought for the black struggle. I said, bye, goodbye. Yeah. I don't have nothing else to say. Let me go to 219. Let me go to, and I'll
Renee, are you serious? Somebody really just said that?
Yeah, somebody said that to me before a couple of days ago.
Because people believe, because that's the image that they put out here. You know, you got this European up here who embraces the hip hop culture. Black people love him. You understand what I'm saying? And so you know, and he's always, like you said, like on BET and all this other stuff, everything else. So they give this, they don't know that's just him catering to the hip hop fan base. He don't give a fuck about our struggle. White supremacy is the reason why he's the number 1 grossing MC of all time.
Right.
It's because of white supremacy.
It's not because of talent.
You feel me? So so this whole thing is a joke. Like stop playing. Like they keep trying to present this like he's some kind of blacktivist. Like no, he's not. He's never been that guy. You understand? Like he's worried about him. M worries about him. M cares about M. That's who M gives a fuck about. And he's not black, so therefore he don't care about us.
If he'll dog his own damn mama, if he'll dog his own damn mother of his daughter,
right?
Honey, what you think he gonna do to some niggas? Okay.
Right.
Let me go to 219. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? And then after that, we're gonna go into this Waka Flocka clip of him saying he's not black. But peace, 219. Thank you for your patience. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace, Queen. Sister Renee, Psycho. I don't want to say the to the brothers who have the longest peace to both of them. This is Suave.
Hey!
All
right, peace. Black power.
I was like, I know that voice when you start talking. I'm like, I know who it is. Okay, you have the floor.
Yeah, what's up, family? Black power. I love y'all, man. Yeah, okay, as far as this thing, well, I want to recognize that, like he said, remember the old racist freestyle we had back in the day? This is the root, okay, of all of this white culture. And then you have a mixture of the culture later on. When he mixed it to the black culture, we have to pay attention to this. Because them always spoke on the fact that he only was as successful as he was because he was white. That if he was another black dude, he was taking on with the rest of the dudes. And one thing I want to 99. I don't want this to come about him. Because we always put the faith on it, and it kills the whole message. The thing is, who's reacting to this shit? And why are they reacting to Eminem and his verse? You understand what I'm saying? Because you admitting that the issues is real. And you know, even though he ain't speaking on the issues, we all know though, it's a band-aid on the main issue. They keeping the football, disrespect to the flag and the soldier, band-aid over, we're beating the head out of blacks like we always have. And we killing them and now they're catching his own face. So if you talk about one thing, actually, somebody thinks that I don't know about that thing, something about the ball, right? You know this not about him, right? And he's trying to talk about the big issues. That's why when we feel bad about ourselves when we get a reaction when a white person trying to say something. But that's always been the point, to try to get white people to react to your issue. You paying attention to white media. So what you think you're going to see? Now, I don't expect that every day when I come on Psycho Page's page because we control this region and we talk about the real issues, but you better believe if you're looking at this to come up on the main TV, the only audio about you going to get is the football shit. You know? So I don't want to say, I don't really, it's however you want to flip it, you can flip it. It all depends on how you feel, but the issue is real. The issue is hella real, and I'm glad that, and I'm kind of being funny when I say that, black people gave a white person a platform to speak white issues to that white president. Like, that's crazy as hell. Once again, now, can you arrange for them to trade us some airtime, you know? Can you get us on, you know, like crossed over us? They always crossed over to our culture, but then when it's time for them to go home, they say, you know, I'll see you later and shit. Now, take away you and they go, you know, yeah, that's what we need to see more of. Like, we get it, man, but they keep dumbing it down. Go ahead, King.
Now, I just want to kind of, you know, as you having the discussion, and I understand what you're saying, and I think the thing is that we can't forget 100% that when we look at the dynamic between the white man and the black man, that it's always been a war. You understand? So even when we're saying that, hey, we're going to coerce our opponent, or we're going to make them feel some kind of way, you know, you might have some white people that might be about the cause, but collectively, white folks ain't really trying to hear that shit. So I think us waiting on them to actually speak or bring or share light to our issues, you know, maybe taking that in front of the white people to say, well, hey, white people, you're going to help us? No, these aren't their issues to fix. These are things 100% that we're going to have to fix from the inside out. Even with the police brutality, we're going to have to start policing our own selves in our community. We're going to have to stop, you know, we're going to have to stop not valuing each other. We're going to have to say, well, hey, this is my brother. When he goes out, I'm going to watch his back. He's going to watch my, and what, you know, this is us. When you're getting your butt kicked, when the score is 21-0, your opponent doesn't have any obligation to come over there and help give you a pep rally and help you feel excited about, you know, and I think what Brother Psycho said is the biggest thing. When you look at these crackers, they are crackers that have money. So when you look at them, they're not going to relinquish their power or their money for us as black people. They're not going to do that. So I'm looking at more of a bigger picture, like, hey, it's some type of puppet. It's some type of, I wouldn't doubt it if Donald Trump and Eminem are in this together and they're back somewhere smoking some smoke or drinking some and just watching how they're going to
They are doing that.
And how they're going to sell this shit.
I highly doubt that. Because one thing that...
I highly accept that. They are doing that.
Eminem has never been accepted by white culture, bro.
You don't think so?
Blackball. He's been blacklisted, and he knows.
Oh no, he was accepted by black culture.
He's not, listen, he's not pushing his agenda to sell his album to black people. You don't go big selling the blacks. You understand what I'm saying? So that whole thing right there is not, but they never accepted it. That's why I'm not in movies. That's why he's not on TV. That's why he's not been in all these major doors and started his own clothing company and all this cologne, because they don't fuck with him. That's what Kanye was complaining about. Man, I want to do more than rap.
and then we're gonna because I want to get to this Waka Flocka thing. You know, this is always a constant conversation about black and the crayon color and all of that. So, excuse me, but let me say this as far as what you said. Like, I disagree with that in terms of, I agree with a lot of what you said, but I disagree with the fact that they don't really mess with Eminem like that. I think Eminem don't really mess with them like that in terms of whatever he wants to do, he can do it. Yeah. Like these companies and stuff, I think they would love to. Now, mind you, remember, this was years ago when he was saying in his music, he was saying like fag and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And remember that Elton John, it was a big thing with that, and he had to kind of like patch that up, that situation up, because you know the people who run everything in the entertainment industry are homosexuals.
Yeah, you can't go after the gays.
And pedophiles and everything
gays
else.
And Jews are off limits.
Patch that up.
Gays and Jews are off limits. Gays and Jews are off limits.
Right. There you have it. So he had to go, and he had to make sure that was all to the good. So he's part of the machine. He's part of the machine. He's included. He's accepted. I think it's just that he may not have wanted to get into those different entities because he doesn't need to. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need to because he is part of the genre where he is the number one dog.
Yeah,
just because in terms of white, hold on, in terms of white rappers who are supposed to be quote unquote lyricists and who are supposed to be so talented, he got that. His spot is sewn up. Okay, when you look at other white rappers, you got some few that's coming, they kind of down there, whatever, coming down. You got Vanilla Ice, and he was a one-hit wonder, he was back or whatever. But Eminem has his spot already solidified. He been solidified. Right. So he don't have to worry about doing endorsements and doing this and doing that. He know his money's already made. Yeah, and I would also say that it's not about him having to pander to black listeners. It's not about that. It's symbolic. It's symbolic. Because, see, Eminem was supposed to be about having some level of authenticity when it comes to hip-hop. And no matter the fact that hip-hop has been bought and sold a long time ago to white people or whoever else, he still knows that in order to have that authentic label, like it's going down in history, for that to continue, he still has to kind of have that black stamp of approval. He still kind of has to, it's not about the money. It's not about necessarily him selling the music to black people, because the more authentic he is to black people, the more white people will buy his music. Mm-hmm. If he's looked at as a lame by black people, and he's looked at like he has no lyrical ability, even though he's not a great rapper, but he's the greatest in terms of white people's talent, I guess. And he's looked at a lot of black people, put him on a pedestal. If black people in general thought Eminem was whack and thought he was just nothing, white people wouldn't support him. You gotta have the black people who give the pass. They gotta give you the pass to say, oh yeah, it was cool. That's why they always bring black people in with them. It's always, see his crew, what's the dude's name? What's his name? Proof? They got killed or whatever. Yeah. And like you were saying, you were so on point with that slide when you said about Bazaar and the other dudes. I can't remember the name of it. D12.
D12, yeah.
A lot of stuff they were going for some nasty, like you said, rape and all kind of purple heels. I remember that and all that old kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm just saying that you still need the black stamp of approval to a degree.
Right. That was the problem. That's
what he's doing that for.
That was the problem with Vanilla Ice. He never got that black stamp of approval and everything else. Like, you know, he was a mockery amongst us. And just because Eminem don't do endorsement deals, don't mean he can't do endorsement deals. Like Michael Jackson never did endorsement deals, but we all know companies would have came running to Mike if he was throwing himself out there like that for endorsement deals. Like, you know, once you get to a certain stature, you really don't mess around with endorsements too much unless you're an athlete. Like athletes, you know, endorsements is huge with athletes or whatever, and this, that, and the third. But once you get to a certain status, endorsements could actually be a bad thing, because you know, like you know, the less you're seen, the more valuable you're worth. That's why Michael Jackson never played the public eye and everything else. He was kind of a mystery to everybody, and everything that actually made him more attractive to the media and everything else, and brought more eyes to him. Because that's why whenever something happened with Mike, it was a big deal if he said anything or whatever, because you never heard him speak hardly. So like the same thing with Prince, and like these how these artists get, like once they get to a certain stature, they kind of peel back and kind of like kind of let you guess what's going on. Like that's kind of what they do. That's how they move.
Let let Swab get the last word on this. Swab, go ahead if you want to say anything else, and then I'm gonna go to the Waka Flocka clip. Oh, let me say this real quick too, family. We only have 10 minutes left in the live stream, which means that if you want to participate in the conversation, you want to, sound off on anything we're talking about, you have to call in to do so. The call-in number is 319-527-6058, 319-527-6058. After that, we'll be going into overtime, and you can listen to the rest of the show. If you don't want to call in, you can listen to the rest of the show on YouTube, youtube.com/psychopathiest, SYKOPATHEIST. You have the floor. Wow.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, and I do want to highlight brothers like my son and brothers like that who took the time out to speak on the same issues more directly to him that got overshadowed. But once again, you're looking at a white media platform that's to say black. I mean, shit. And a lot of the times, I think the problem with, and I want to see the endorsements, like, hey, put Gatorade name on you. I mean, venturing off into other serious lanes. Because you can't be the drug addict, hating kid forever. And so to establish yourself, you have to think ahead. And I think he's having the problem doing that because they don't fuck with him, because for the simple reason, when he gets there, guess what he's going to have? Black people behind him. That's telling the truth. That play those white games. Not just the street niggas that when white people say something slick, it go over their head. No. The black dudes who be around white people that know that was a shot. I wanna, of course, recognize the fact that exactly what you said could be completely possible, no if, and, buts about it. But I think you have to keep that open eye that a lot of the times they only want you to be an artist because when they interview you, the shit you say isn't good for them. And that was the problem with Mike. As long as he sang, it was one thing, and then he started putting his messages in the song. But when you talk to them in real life about real issues, they said shit that they spoke on the issues, and so I think that's the reason why they get hushed a lot of the time. But go ahead, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, that is the still acting janky. Well, it is, but it's not. So I'm going to try to get this clip. But I'm going to give y'all a little background first before I go further on this. So basically, Waka Flocka, I think he got out of his record deal, and I think he had some new music that's getting ready to come out, like in the mainstream or whatever. And so he's been doing some different interviews. So he did an interview. The main one I think people are talking about is with Sway. And basically he kind of went into talking about how he's not black. He was kind of speaking on that, kind of that same thing most black people have heard, which is that my grandma is Indian, or my so-and-so is Indian, or whoever is Indian. We're Native Americans, so-and-so was mixed, and all this old kind of stuff. And, for me, I think that just has a lot to do with, it has a lot to do with black being labeled as the worst thing a person can be, basically. That we're considered to be bottom of the barrel racially. We just are. We just are. And so to me, that's why so many people put up a fight against it. Now, I understand, let me say this before we get into this. I understand that black is a color, okay, what people would say is a void of color or whatever. Like, I get that. I understand that. However, and let me also say, I understand that race is a social construct and all of that, okay? However, we are already hundreds of years into this social construct, okay? That's just what it is. You know, that's when we get into these conversations of, oh, well, look, it is what it is, okay? We exist in a white supremacist society. We are considered to be, quote-unquote, black. Within terms of that, I am all for building our nationality, building our own identity, which we know we got this whole thing with this black identity thing or whatever. So I understand all of that, okay? But at the same time, we do have to, in terms of society, class ourselves a certain way, identify ourselves a certain way. That's just what it is. And if anything, and we're going to go to one point, but if anything, with the whole thing that came out recently about the black identity extremists, if you haven't heard about that, we talked about it on the last show, I think, and it's basically the FBI came out and said, I mean, stuff that we already know, COINTELPRO is never ended, but basically came out and said that, you know, people who are basically pro-black and you speak about it or whatever, you're basically classed over here as being a black identity extremist, and these people have a possible, you know, propensity to violence or to do things against law enforcement and all of this whole kind of stuff. So it's the same types of things that they've always done to thwart anything that we do, anything that we say that's for empowerment for our people. So with that, they put the Moors in that, people if you sovereign, you indigenous, you this, you that. Guess what? They put all that together under black identity extremists. They put all of that stuff in one pot. So all the people, oh, I'm a Moor, and I'm not trying to clown nobody or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to disrespect anybody who oppose that. Like, you know, that's what's up. If that's, I support that. Fine. But at the same time, we're still missing the point because we want to get into these semantics over black or I'm this, I'm that. Well, we all having the same common experience under the same system and the same system that classifies you as a black identity extremist, period. Okay. Let me see if this comes up. If not, I think I see Brother Knowledge. I'm going to open his line up. And then if it doesn't come up, I'll just read y'all his comment for the people who didn't hear it. Because I guess if y'all know they want to mess with me. So let me go ahead and open up Brother Knowledge. And your family, it's like 2 minutes left in the live stream. So again, if you want to comment on any of the topics tonight, you got to call in 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, 347. That's wrong. That's my old number. 319. See, I'm telling you, 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058. Peace, Knowledge. What's up? What's going on?
Peace, Sister Renee. Peace, your family. Peace, Psycho.
Peace. Black power.
90 seconds.
Black power.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be
this identity crisis, it's my favorite subject. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, go ahead if you want to say something on that, and then I'll because I'm going to get his comments together. So I'll let you go ahead if you want to
hear your views on this, Knowledge.
Is that Brother E?
60
I
seconds.
want to hear your views on this because I did some on this recently. But go ahead, talk your views on that.
Oh, man. Y'all know how I feel about this identity crisis thing. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with it's a white savior complex at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say that people are indigenous to this landmass that we call America. What did they do to the indigenous people of this landmass? Did they say, oh, no, we're excluding y'all from this mass genocide that took place? Nah. You was included in the genocide. So just like you included in this report, you included in the genocide. Ain't no
10
paper
seconds.
gonna stop no bullets. ain't no piece of paper gonna stop you from getting dragged out of your car if they want to drag you out of your car. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I recognize the need. There's certain places where certain things work. And on the side of the road, in the middle of the night, with these crackers with their guns drawn at you, ain't the time. You understand what I'm saying? You can find ways to navigate through the court system, but you got to make it to the court system. You understand what I'm saying? So all of this other foolishness that we're talking about, as if you can sign something, you can pay something, and they never needed an excuse. Look at our history in this country. So this black identity extremist thing that everybody running around with like the sky is falling and the world about to end. Crackers, they never need no excuse to execute you. I want the people to know that and understand that. If you don't know, you need to pay attention to them. They ain't never need a license, they ain't need no excuse, they ain't need no justification. Look in the mirror, that's the justification. We enemies in this war. Understand what I'm saying? So they waged war when they came and kidnapped the first African. And it's been war ever since. And you see what these people, what these things do all over the planet. So we need to wise up and really, take this opportunity and really examine what's going on, because it ain't nothing new. So whether we say it's COINTELPRO, whether we say it's the Black Death, whether we say it's the talented mentality, whatever it is, it's always been a divide in regards to our ancestry here in America, where you got people that's for what's going on and you got warriors that's against what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. Like this foolishness, whatever you want to identify yourself as, they already got you. They're just telling you, face to face, like, yo, we don't care nothing about you. Whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you put on your head, whatever clothes you put on, whatever clothes you don't want to put on. So it's just, all this thing is like capitalizing off of fear and capitalizing off of ignorance to who you are, who you truly are. Because when you know who you truly are, you can operate in that state. And it's not just being conscious. Conscious is a state of being and a state of mind, but it also incurs some type of action and participation on your part. You see what I'm saying? So, like, there's a lot of things. And, again, Malcolm X said this a long time ago. It's only among black people where entertainers become your leaders. There's no entertainer in any other nation of people that's a leader. So we need to stop taking these fools for leaders and taking these fools for icons, and then we'd be surprised when they bought and sold. They bought and sold. They owned. You see what I'm saying? And I heard y'all talking about Kaepernick earlier. Like, that's way too much for me to talk about. You see what I'm saying? So these fools that are running around, they don't deserve an audience. They don't deserve no attention. They don't deserve no analysis. We need to be talking about the people who really live in this life. I'm on the phone with brothers and sisters who live this life, who have sacrificed greatly and have been targeted by this said government. Where's their day? Where's their recognition? You understand what I'm saying? Or we're going to be crying at their transition, talking about how good of a person they were. You see what I'm saying? So we need to get that together and give the energy and attention and support to the people who earned it. Forget the rest of these frauds. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Wonderful.
There it is.
Okay, well, my is still acting janky. I'm going to read his comment. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, that's like the brother was just saying, we have to get our own, recognize our own people that's been doing struggle. I think we do. We just don't have the platform to give them the spotlight that the whites have to do that. That was what was so beautiful about Tupac in that essence, when he knew he had to enter into the machine in order to get that platform to say what he needed to say. A lot of people understand you have to become famous or influential through some silly lane in order to later on in your older years turn around like Dick Gregory. You understand what I'm saying? Rest in power to him, love him. But if you want to get that side of the fence jumping, you have to be on that side of the fence from the jump, so
we have to recognize that we got a lot of great leaders that deserve. Like M and Colin Kaepernick's name would be so far down the list if we could just give recognition to the people who have more substance to say, you know, more of an answer, more of an experience, you know, a long-term commitment to this conversation. Not people that just woke up yesterday or whatever the hell it is. So, thank y'all. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, the people who just quote-unquote woke up yesterday, in terms of, it's like a fad. You feel me? For some people, it's like a fad. It's like a fad or a trend or just something to say or do in the moment. And it's not really anything, you know, more solid to it. And those people then become like a spokesperson for the whole black community. This athlete over here or this rapper over there because they said one thing, you know, to where they showed they had an awareness about police brutality or white supremacy or whatever. And so we tend to do that all the time. And then those people who do dedicate a lot of their time, their energy, their money, blood, sweat, and tears to this and to the people, those people get picked apart 100%. Those people get, you know, scrutinized into an inch of their life, you know, about every little thing. So it's just a lot going on. And actually, I'm going to give y'all his comments, but I also want to say that I've been meaning to, it's just my schedule's been really crazy, but y'all, we got to get into this thing about Russia. We got to get into this thing about what happened or what has been happening with social media, particularly Facebook, okay? And all these different Russian people, groups, and organizations who created these black platforms. For instance, I think Echo earlier I heard you say the word blacktivist. Well, people understand that when you see that term on Facebook, like that group was created by Russia. It was created to try to undermine or try to increase the racial tensions and things in America. A lot of this had to do with the Trump presidency. I really want to get deeper into this because their whole goal was to, first of all, make Hillary look as awful as possible, which I don't have a problem with that because they're both the same thing. Trump and Clinton are the same thing. But anyway, because a lot of black people were, you know, going to vote for her, and, you know, most black people, Democrats, whatever. And so what they did was, and it's a particular guy that they really did a feature on. And this is a brother who had a Facebook, or excuse me, a YouTube channel, okay? I think he had kind of like a Caribbean accent. The brother had locks in his hair, you know, handsome brother, and he was talking about Hillary like a dog. You said what?
He's from Jamaica or another part of Barbados, Trinidad. Most likely Jamaican. If he has a Rasta cousin, then most likely he falls under that.
Well, I don't know. He had like a Caribbean accent. But yeah, so I think it was Caribbean. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, so they basically paid him, okay, the Russians paid him to have a channel that was dedicated to dogging out Hillary and to try to convince black people to vote for Trump. He was saying, like in the videos, oh, Trump is pro-black, and Trump is going to do this and that for black people, and he's about, you know, business and people getting their money and this, that, and the other. And the thing is, like, we need to really be well-informed and understand how many people are out here that are planted to do these kind of things. Whenever you hear rhetoric that just sounds off the wall, you gotta, you know, kind of distance yourself from that. When you hear this type of stuff, like with black people trying to, what's the Silk and Diamond or whatever? Who's the two black women, older kind of heavy-set black women who was like, yeah, girl, and all of that stuff, that they was the ones promoting Trump. Whoever they are, most of y'all probably know who I'm talking about. But like that was just off the wall.
Paid.
Yeah, you know, these people are paid. This stuff is just off the wall type stuff going on. And so y'all just be mindful with the black identity extremist thing. Also be mindful of people who try to bait you into conversations about violence and stuff like that. Just be mindful, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on, because a lot of this stuff, man, there's just a lot going on, y'all. So we're just really targeting. But let's go ahead and give these comments on Waka Flocka.
I'm sorry, but they targeted all of us with that. I'm sorry.
Right.
But that's just, they said more specifically, but this is the call. This don't think this is not the call. Are you American? Yes or no? That's all they want to know. They don't want to hear, I'm American, but I'll be American if. Are you American? How it is established right now? Yes or no? And if they know, you are a street. You're black identity.
And I want to add this dynamic. I don't think people have added this dynamic. It has come at a time. I was listening to a Scarface and Ice Cube song from the 90s. Gangsters Don't Live That Long, I think, was the exact name of the song. And they were actually talking about how the government was attacking hip-hop in the same manner as they are attacking us right now with our photo, because they know that this is a message. People are starting to get conscious. People are starting to become aware. There's not anything where they have to become feared about, any type of spike or rise of black people going out there to commit brutal crimes against white people or against them. They don't do that shit. We're not doing that. We ain't going out there killing the police, so that's not it. They're afraid of is trying to encourage us to go away, because at the time we talking about reparations. And in talking about reparations, we have to identify with the nation.
That's right.
Identify and say, hey, we came from Africa, so you wronged us. This is what you wronged us at. Now they're trying, like the brother said, they're trying to make us all Americans. So now you got these niggas like Waka Flocka that's saying, well, hey, I ain't even from Africa. I ain't even got nothing to do with black. I'm here in America. Like, for real? And this is the sickness that we see by, this, and like I said, it's a scare tactic. It's a fear tactic, but I feel like it is something that should be compelling us to stop all the debating with each other, stop all the fighting with each other, and come together and identify ourselves and start to manifest more. But right now, we as those people, I think a lot of times we've been bullshit. So it's just a chess move is what I'm seeing it, family.
Yeah. And what we have to sometimes just listen to what the elder said. Neely Fuller said it. He said, as long as you are ineffective, they'll let you do whatever you do. They'll let you say this, go over there. Okay, yeah. But the moment you become effective, it's a wrap. They coming down on you. So in terms of this, you made a great point, too. Like, I know sometimes it's hard because we're like, man, our people don't get it. I'm sure all of us have had those thoughts and feelings probably daily. But, there are more people waking up. You know what I'm saying? There are. And so they want to make sure, but see, it's not even that about being effective. If they get just even an inkling of it being effective, like it doesn't have to actually really be that, they'll come down on it. So that does go to show that a lot of this is getting to the people. A lot of it is having some impact or influence, if not, not on a massive level, but in some capacity that some people are beginning to want to know more and wanting to look at things in a different perspective than the way that it's been packaged and given to us over and over and over again. So, I was just trying to say something, and then I'll read these comments.
I know I was going to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, now.
I appreciate it, man. I just wanted the people to pay attention to how the feds is on the case. They go back 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So if we go back 20 years from now, we go back to 97. So if we go back, and if you look at those writings, I didn't give it too much credence, but I did pay attention to how they use words. So if you go back from 97, you go back to 77. And they said from 1970 to 1987, they were talking about the BLA. And we know who the BLA was responsible for, freeing, for liberating. You understand?
about Asada. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the same thing what Trump had to say about Asada. You see what I'm saying? But Asada is a figure of one who got away. You see what I'm saying? So that's all of us. You see what I'm saying? That's all of us. Anybody who displays this type of seditious type of way towards, the power structure. You understand what I'm saying? So from 77 to 97 to 2017. That's how they go. They go back 20 years. You see what I'm saying? And if there's anything that they can get you for within that 20 years, they start snatching people up off the street. Again, like I said at the beginning, they don't need no license for it, but we're making it very easy, especially with this social media stuff that's happening right now. You see what I'm saying? So in that report, it alluded to, the catalyst for this, movement against police was Mike Brown. You see what I'm saying? August 9th, 2014. You see what I'm saying? They said they use it as a catalyst, to move against the police. But this is, you know that everybody is controlled. Everybody answers. So who's putting this out? Truly, who's benefiting from this? Insurance, big business. So look a lot deeper and understand how RICO goes. You see what I'm saying? So I'll give you an example. If I say something on the internet that could be deemed seditious, anybody who likes it, that's conspiracy before the fact. That's conspiracy. You see what I'm saying? That's not just local, state conspiracy. That's federal conspiracy. You see what I'm saying? We know sisters and brothers that got snatched up off of the street. The ones who's missing right now. We got campaigns for them right now. You see what I'm saying? They go to these transcripts and then put this out as evidence. There's no charge. You understand what I'm saying? But this is the charge. You see what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of people that fall into that gap. They go get these transcripts from these broadcasts that we on. They go get these Facebook things that you said that you thought was cool because you was upset for that day, and they build a case based off of that. You know what I'm saying? So we need some self-control, and we need some regulation in regards to how we move on this internet. You see what I'm saying? So we need to really be mindful of some of those things. You see what I'm saying? And just like Sister Renee was saying, they'll set you up with some people. They'll set you up. You see what I'm saying? They'll set you up with these groups and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Remember how we moved. One of the brothers that was speaking, I think he spoke after me, he got involved with the street. Like, certain things don't fly in the street, and those rules never change. You see what I'm saying? Now we get into another level where we thinking we're being elevated, and we forget everything that got us and sustained us in the toughest times of our life. You see what I'm saying? So we really need to be paying attention and move like we would move any place else. You see what I'm saying? So, really got to be paying attention to how they do the case and how they come after people, and just watch the people that's around you. You see what I'm saying? And watch who following you from place to place and all that. You know what I mean? Renee and Psycho, y'all know for real. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to my brother, man, my son, Equanique, man. You know what I'm saying? My son over there.
That's what's up.
It's real. Go ahead, Psycho. And then
oh no, I was gonna wait till after you read the Waka Flocka comments because it's related. What I gotta say is related to that. So I'll wait till after you read that.
Cool. Okay, cool, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to read his comments. All right. This is from hiphopwired.com, and they said Waka Flocka Flame says he is not black and has a tribe. Waka Flocka Flame needs you to get his ethnicity correct. Apparently, the Atlanta Raptor isn't African American or black, but actually native. We're not talking the run-of-the-mill, not Cherokee in my family sig either, according to the No Hands rapper. He is 100% native by blood. All right. So he said, these are his words. When it comes to talking about African Americans, I have no education with that, period. I'm not even connected to that. That's the system, which I agree on that. That's like connected to, hey, he's a bad guy, don't hang with him. I'm not African American at all. My folks is not from Africa. A lot of people in this room's folks not from Africa. Might be a couple. People just don't understand. I asked my grandma, what's your background? She's like Redfoot and Black Toe Indian. Yeah, my mother and father were 100% Indian. Ask my other grandma, we got Cherokee in us, European and Italian, a little Dominican. It's crazy. Y'all looking at me funny like, nigga, I'm African. You're not though. 80% of slaves was already here, was native. Sway said, 80? Where'd you get that number from? Walker said, ish. I just checked the books. Sway said, which books? Sway said, which books? Walker said, I got a whole laptop full of ish. Just from me reading. It's not a solid book. Like, hey, only 1,000 slaves came here. Nah, nigga, you gotta read. You have to literally read. I'm so deep into it, I don't think about a slave ship. I think about what was a slave ship called. Jesus. What the F was a slave ship called that Christopher Columbus was on? When one of the hosts asked about his identity, Walker said this. Walker, I'm other. I'm uneducated. So for me to sit here like a college professor, I'm wrong. I'm uneducated. I'm confused. But I'm damn sure not black. You're not going to call me black. My grandmother is not Crayola. I'm connected to a tribe. I'm from a tribe, not a country. It's a big difference. Different laws, different everything. Big difference. It's clear that in the midst of this, someone like me from Walker's team tapped Sway and probably told him to change the subject because homeboy was effing up. But Walker circled back. I don't want to make niggas feel like I'm on some other ish because I'm saying I don't want to connect with African Americans like I'm saying as black. It's nothing like that. It's that my eyelids is up. And when your eyelids is up, you read about everything you put in your mouth. You say out your mouth. You walk, talk, and converse with. He said conversate with. But y'all, conversate ain't a word. Converse,
Converse,
okay?
actually,
Anyway,
yeah.
Talk and conversate with. I don't live for money every day no more. I live for the truth. And they said, okay, yeah. So those were his words on Sway. Now, honestly, reading that, I really don't disagree with him too much. Like, there's some points in there I'm really like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But his grandmother talking, oh, my parents was 100%. Listen, y'all.
We gotta stop this.
We gotta stop some of that stuff. Like, everybody's Indian around here. I've never seen so many black
listen.
Black Indians in my life. I don't know. But go ahead, Psycho.
Yeah, I'm guilty of saying conversate from time to time myself. I know it's converse, but yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, this whole Native American family thing, that's what this is all stemming from us back then wanting to be anything other than African and starting this whole good hair, bad hair, Native American stuff and everything. Now, don't get me wrong. There was some swirling going on amongst the Native Americans and blacks or whatever. So you do have some people that actually do have some Native American in them. But let me say this: I did a lot of extensive research on Native American history 5 years ago, and a lot of people are confused and mixed up on a lot of things. First of all, let me get on this whole indigenous thing. With us supposedly being indigenous and this grand conspiracy of keeping it from us, like that really means anything to these savage Europeans. Like can somebody tell me when the Europeans ever gave a fuck about stealing the land from somebody to the point where they have to convince these people that we didn't really steal this land from you because you ain't a part of this land, you're from somewhere else? Like, this tactic has never been used before, and you're trying to convince me that all of a sudden they came up with this new tactic just for us over here. And if we're the original Native Americans, what the hell are the Native Americans that are here now, like that we think are the Native Americans? What are they? Are you saying that we're them? Are they a part of us? Because that's what you have to be saying. You have to be saying that we're also Native, like they're us and we're them and we're all the same. And that's obviously not the case. So like we gotta stop playing. And plus, I see people talking about, oh, black is this, black is that, and y'all let the Europeans call y'all black and everything else. No. Actually, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, because y'all don't even know where the whole concept of black, white, and everything else came from. Because when we came over here, like y'all said, we wasn't black, we was niggers. Nigers, whatever you want to call it, mispronunciations and all that. But at the end of the day, the whole black, they wasn't white when they first came over here. You understand? But guess who gave us all those titles? Oh yeah, the Native Americans is the ones that gave us the titles. They gave it to us, and I found this out through my research, through the medicine wheel. If you look at the colors on the medicine wheel, I got it up here on the screen right now if you're on my live stream. If you look at the colors, the Native Americans are actually the original people that started calling themselves red. They actually chose that's the color they chose to call themselves, because they wanted to identify all the different types of people. That's why they used to call the Europeans pale faces and white man and everything else. The Native Americans started calling them white. Y'all give these Europeans too much credit. The Europeans did not start calling themselves white. The Native Americans did. They called them red. They called them white. They called us black. And obviously the Asians were yellow. And those are the four colors on the medicine wheel, and that's what they use to identify the different people and everything else that was all of a sudden approaching this land. Their land, not our land, their land. You understand? So stop giving these Europeans all this credit. That's another thing. So yeah, actually the same the people that y'all complaining about that gave us the black label is actually the people that you're trying to be, which is the Native Americans. So y'all might want to do some research.
Yeah, but you know, fun thing, Psycho, they're not going to research because and I'm convinced because this stupid art came out with the BIE. I think now these artists are going to start labeling themselves differently now, because you're going to see an outburst. A lot of them not going to identify themselves as black now because of this. Because when people got the memo, so is these type of niggas too. And I guarantee you, in the coming months, you're going to see a lot of them start not labeling themselves black either. I guarantee you. Because think about it. A lot of people don't want to deal with black anyway. Right. So really true, when they throw this out, it to me, the first thing that registers in my mind is, wait a minute. A lot of our people don't identify as African Americans. Black, much less want to identify to the continent. So when you put something out there, the most people that roll with or don't know or don't know about it really is irrelevant, because a lot of people don't want to identify as black from the first place. That's right. They tell you this is bad from the start because this is social engineering. So really, when I look at that, it can be what I consider. This is my point. Everybody can have their opinion. It could be a blessing and a curse, but at the end of the day, a lot of people by default don't want to associate with black. Period. Even the darkest ones don't want to admit they're black because the condition is so rampant. Dudes like this man come out and make those statements. And you know the funny thing? When he made that statement, I think one guy named Mr. Bay did a show on his live stream, and he said that, you know, why y'all niggas getting mad about? You know what I'm saying? He didn't really say Nick, but he said, because he knows really we're not black. So it goes back to people are trying to divorce of this identity. You know? And it's going to be very much mass movement in the coming months. This is my opinion. Don't get me wrong, guys. This is my opinion. Because if we get the memo, some of us that even caught it, I know some of these celebrities are catching on too. So what they're going to start doing, they're going to start relabeling themselves. Like Bow Wow. Remember Bow Wow? Said he wasn't black? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Remember Renee? Yeah, uh-huh. I remember that. Yeah, so you're going to see a lot more coming. Watch and see. Just watch and see.
Hey, I want to say this right here. Oh.
Let me say this real quick, and then you can go, Connie. And then anybody else want to go. I just want to say this. I think sometimes, okay, in his little thing I read, he said in there that he's confused. I was telling Psycho this yesterday. I feel that way as well on a level. And I'm going to tell y'all why I say that. I feel confused on a level because we know who we're dealing with, or we should know. You are dealing with a deceitful dog. I mean, just, they will, oh my goodness. They will make up some stuff. They will go back and change this, erase this, add that, do this, do that. You know, so it's so much that we don't know. It's so much that we've been, quote unquote, taught under their system. So there is a lot of confusion. And that confusion is beneficial to them. Because as long as we are confused, then they remain. Hey, y'all still there? I don't know what it.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So as long as we're confused, that works for them. So sometimes it's good to just say I don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay to just say I don't know. And so in this case, I'm not going to sit here and say that 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know this is that way or that's this way. However, in terms of what makes the most sense, this is what I always say, is that some of us were brought here and some of us were bought here. And what I mean by that is some were brought here literally from physically from Africa, and some were quote unquote brought here, like paid for, people who were already here. Okay, as far as being sold into slavery or things of that nature. So I believe there were people here, black people here. Okay, and there were black people, I believe, also brought here. So I honestly feel like it's somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's absolute in either direction. And I do get tired of the whole Native American thing. And I just want to say, like, when is it enough? And I don't mean, like, that people call it themselves that, but I mean, like, trying to make some allegiance or connection to the Native American people that are called Native Americans. Like, I get tired of that. When is it going to be enough to be black? Just who we are. Then if you want to call it Negro or whatever, like, when is that enough? Why do we have to keep trying to be, well, see, we Native Americans.
Every 10 years, we got to,
red tail Indians.
Yeah, every 10 years, we got to try to re-identify ourselves. Like, well, it's craziness. It's craziness.
Go ahead, Quanese. I
just want to say a lot of times these issues basically point at those same things in which the ancestor Dr. Francis Cresswellstein spoke about, and a countless amount of others. But even when we're talking about speaking to the psychological trauma that we've undergone, and even when we're talking about a lot of black people want to disassociate themselves from the term black or even African. I think these same people don't know that Africa is the most resourceful land known to man. I'm going to say in our galaxy. You understand? Africa. This is where the majority of all the world's resources come from. Why would we have pride in being called that? We would rather be called thieves or Negro, niggas, or whatever it is. But, when we say Africans, or we got to debate and have all types of reasons. Even when we're talking about black. When we're talking about black, we're talking about these are terms utilized to help us categorize or see what our experience is. And even with what we understand is black is the absence of color. You understand? So what we see is black is before color. Before there was light, there was dark. You understand? So I think that gives way and gives respect to or pays homage to the progressive stages of life. You understand? That everything isn't just light. You understand? Obviously, we came from Kenya, and even with that Negro Waka Flocka, I'm wondering how can he say that he's separating himself from being black or African when this Negro got big lips and got kinky, nappy locks. I'm like, damn, wow. And this shows like the conditioning. That's like you see a lion with a lion's mane roaring, but he's going to insist that he's an elephant. Whenever you see that in place, that's when you see the psychological damage that has been done to us and our people. And like I said, it happens within him. It happens within our women. We want to call ourselves everything. Our women associate themselves with Marilyn Monroe rather than any of our black women. You understand? They can, we got countless amounts of black women, but they rather, I've seen black women that actually get a tattoo of Marilyn Monroe. They can't say many black women have gotten a tattoo of another black woman. So this basically shows, this only shows that I've, spoken with Renoko Rashidi, and we know that he has visited, I think, 120-some countries, doing this research. And I would like to know, if we were at the most resourceful place known to man, why the hell would we find a need to come in America and actually stay? I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but if we were the people that built the pyramids, why would we find it necessary to come over here where we would have all of the resources from Africa basically imported, brought over here? Because America didn't really have shit hardly over here, unless we would just navigate.
And my other thing,
I can't understand that. Why would we want to just,
Yeah, and my other thing too is like when people say that, they're trying to hide it from us, that this is our land and stuff. Why?
Exactly.
And the reason I say why is because they don't hide anything.
Yeah.
They go all the time and quote unquote conquer. Throughout all of history, you see them having gone in and supposedly conquered this and that.
I mean, the Native American.
We know all about the imperialism and colonialism and this, that, and the other. Like, why do they need to lie?
They didn't lie about stealing this from the other Native Americans. Why would we be any different?
Yeah.
Exactly. That don't make any sense. It makes no sense.
Why would they need to lie about that? I would like for somebody to answer that question for me.
Simple. You know why? Because you are the majority. And anytime the lie doesn't hold stick, then people are going to look at and start wake up saying, so if I'm great and I know my potential, why the hell I still need you to be parasite over me?
But that, we already...
And that's the game. Because remember, you keep people away from that identity and history, you're easy to control. Remember, they live with that subjugation and control. Okay? They live
I agree with that.
Yeah, but why would they?
And the best way to keep control is to keep you off balance, to keep you in circle.
Like, are you saying? So, are you pretty much saying? Are you saying that them coming over here, stealing our country, is worse than them going over there, enslaving us and shipping us over here, tossing us over boats, selling us as property and all this? Like, you trying to say? Like, I don't understand what the big difference is. Like, why would one be worse than the other or worse? Like, I don't get it. People, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if they stole this from us, they just gonna come out and say, yeah, we took your shit and what? And they never had any problem. They didn't got no problem doing that in South Africa. South Africa, they ain't got no problem saying we took y'all shit. And ain't shit y'all motherfuckers gonna do about it. They ain't got no problem saying that. So, like, I don't understand why it's an issue here. I don't get it.
They came in South Africa, honey, they took over the government. Now, mind you, they coming into a continent that is black. The continent is black. Okay? Somebody got some background noise. Can you please mute your line, please? They came into Africa that is black, okay? And they went into South Africa. They took over the government. Honey, then they broke all the people up in separate sections. They run everything. We control everything. And this was all African people. This is all their land. So why I understand what you're saying, and I feel you on that. You know what I mean? In terms of identity and things of that nature, and keep you off balance. But they don't. It's certain things that they do that they just do, and they're like, okay, and what? You feel me? Okay, we came in, we took over South Africa, and what?
They bold as shit. They bold as shit. Like, now you telling me that,
okay, and what are you gonna do?
They come over here and get scary and shit. Like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
And then, like we said, even the Native Americans. Now, check this out, right? You said to keep, a person's identity and stuff from them, keeps them off balance and everything. Like, I agree with that. But look in terms of the Native Americans, quote unquote Native Americans. Okay, they know that this is according to whatever. This is their land. Okay, they know their identity, but look how they've still been destroyed by white people. And white people, at the end of the day, are still in control. So even knowing your identity, they know, quote unquote, their identity, but still, these white folks come in and they do what they do. So that's one of the only things I'm like, okay, why would they really need to just lie about that? If they took this from black people, then they took it from black people. And they the ones in control and in power now. So it's like, okay, and they've done this all throughout history, and they've done it all over the world in different places that where white people were not. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and South Africa still can't get their land back.
And they still have an African to this day. They still, like, so, I mean, it's evidence in the behavior. Like, they still kidnap an African today.
Right.
You know, so all of this stuff, when these devils start getting kidnapped, they call it human trafficking and all this, and the sex trafficking and organ harvesting and all of that. But they still doing it to this day. And why would somebody want to identify with people that owned our ancestors? These so-called Native Americans own some of our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So whatever the hell happened to them, and whatever the hell happened to these devils, that's what's supposed to happen to them. You want to identify with somebody who owns you, just like you want to identify with somebody who owns you. So whether it's a Native American, whether it's an Arab, whether it's a Crescent, whoever it is, you want to identify with them. You see what I'm saying? Because you see that as powerful. And you know the first thing is $5 Indian. So whatever is clever, that's what the devil is. And guess what they have right now? They're in Africa. And they've been in Africa forever. And they ain't leaving. And they telling you that you ain't from there because they want to be there too. You understand what I'm saying?
And they saying that and they saying that Africans are white.
This is the identity crisis. If a person comes from South Africa and he lives in America, guess what he is? He's an African American. You know what I'm saying? So it's like foolhardy to be trying to have these discussions with people because they want to hold on to this identity.
Well, your connections kind of back and forth.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. It sounds better.
They want to hold on to these connections because that's all they have. You see what I'm saying? So whether we're talking about ideologies and all of that, you see what I'm saying? Anything that this devil give us, that's what we take and we fight for. You see what I'm saying? And you proud to say you part European and all that. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, what are you putting on the show for? You see what I'm saying? You don't got no problem saying the N-word and taking N-word money, but you don't want to identify. They don't need no audience from us. That's what I keep on saying. They don't need no audience, no attention. None of these cats. They can all go in wherever they want to go. They can stay the fuck away from us because we serious about the liberation of our people. We serious about what we're doing, and we don't need to accept no more of these substitutes. You see what I'm saying? Bang down the price. They already signed. They say who they owe their allegiance to. They sign that check. They getting that money. You see what I'm saying? So they're enslaved to that money, and they're enslaved to them Europeans who pay them that money. So you know, like we really need to word up and really stop taking these false idols and these frauds out here and giving them energy and attention. We need to bury their ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree, but it's like, at the same time, we need to discuss a lot of these things, you know, because there is, like I said earlier, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of people who don't necessarily know what's going on, and there's so many different things happening at one time. You know, it's like we've always been attacked. You know, they've always had a multi-pronged attack on us. But it's like right now, I guess because of social media and all of that, everything is so amplified. And it's like every other day or every day, it's another big issue, a big story here or there. But at the end of the day, this is something I do want to say about like a lot of this kind of stuff that we're talking about. A lot of this stuff, these are distractions, y'all. And we need to understand a lot of other things that's going on too. So I think it's important to discuss some of these distractions, but when we discuss them, just know that's what they are. You feel me? We know that these are distractions, but there is, you know, sometimes there's some good stuff there that we can really build on that may be beneficial to our people. But understand, it's a lot of things going on with North Korea, okay? Trump is sitting up here talking about the damn kneeling and all this. And
well, we're at war, okay, let's be clear, but we got stuff about to pop off with North Korea, and there's some stuff with Iran. Like, it's real out here. You know what I mean? So they're trying to get us so off balance to not really see the forest for the trees. And just think about it. Was it last week or the week before where it was that, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it, where the Las Vegas,
that was like 2 weeks ago. That was like 2 weeks.
Now, y'all listen. This was supposedly the largest mass murder, whatever, right? Or mass shooting. I think that's how they phrased it. In U.S. history.
So they say.
You ain't hearing nothing else really no more about that. They don't have no damn reason like why he did it.
Follow up?
That's what they're saying. They have no reason. Supposedly this one man got all his weapons, all this stuff. I mean, it's just, we're being played with for real. And I know some people don't necessarily agree with that, and some people be like, oh, everything is not fake. Everything is not fake. But how come it's not? How come it's not? How come everything couldn't be fake? Like, for real, let's really think about that. And I'm not saying everything is fake. I'm not saying that. I don't believe it is. But why couldn't it be, though? Think about it. When you look at the news or whatever, this is all coming from the same source. That's why when you look at different news channels, oftentimes they have the very same script. They have the same way it's worded. They had the same type of inflection when they give it. They had the same setup, the same whatever. With their Las Vegas thing, everybody had the same few clips, the same few pictures, right? It's the same thing going on every single channel. And then you have Trump, oh, fake news, fake news, fake news, right? All of this stuff, and I'm not trying to be no conspiracy theorist. This is just how I feel. But this stuff is orchestrated, y'all. Like, this stuff is orchestrated. They will decide what becomes the big news story. It's not to say everything is fake, but something could happen, and they'll say, oh, I guess we'll take this and we'll blow this story up. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, they pick and choose.
Shout out to Lachie. But she will always say that nothing goes viral by accident. Okay? It doesn't go viral by accident just because some people came across it. No. It's because it was put in a certain position to where more people, it would get more clicks and views, and then this major site carried it, and that major site, and then this person shared it who has all of these followers, and so on and so forth. Like, this stuff is orchestrated, y'all. So we have to be mindful, even when talking about the issues in our community, that this stuff is definitely orchestrated. And they really trying to throw us off even more with the black identity thing. Look, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you black, you got a target. I don't give a damn how much you say you voted for Trump. I don't give a damn if you like Tammy Sotomayor. I don't give a damn. You have a target on you. I don't care if I'm a Moor, I'm a this, I'm sovereign.
That's right. They can give a fuck about all that. They can care less.
I'm Native American.
Yeah,
I'm Blackfoot Indian.
They can care less.
They got a bigger target when I read that fucking article.
You know, I mean, you can be Blackfoot Indian as much as you want to, honey, in your dreams or whatever.
You ain't got to check. You ain't got to check. Yeah, you ain't got to check.
You have a target on you for being black. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you ain't got to check the black box like Waka Flocka said. I don't check the black box. I check the other box. Don't worry, they'll check it for you. They'll erase that little check in your that other box and put down black. You ain't got to worry about it. They'll take care of it for you. Like you like this is what I'm saying. We playing games here. We playing games here. Like we can try to act like we something other than we are all we want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we all classified. So we need to get on code because we all can agree that we the same motherfuckers, regardless of whatever we call ourselves, we're the same motherfuckers. Whether you think we're all Moors, whether you think we're all Africans, whether you think we're all Kemites, whatever your bag is. It doesn't matter. We're all the same class. Hebrews, whatever. We all the same thing.
Like whatever. You're not
Nah, hell
You know what I'm saying?
no.
Unique, exact. You know what Tiger Woods said? He gave a label. He said, "I'm Blackanese." I said, "Okay, nigga, let me check this. This is a nigga right here."
Well, in his case, he is, but yeah, right. They put on there black, even though I don't agree with that.
Well, once
but,
they look at him, they said, "Okay, nigga." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
still putting that box.
Yep.
You see, and black people. And the one thing about Psycho and guys, as soon as people start getting on board and start accepting it as it is, that's when the real change is. That's when real growth is going to happen.
Yep.
Until that, with this now bullshit, and you know, Renee, maybe in future shows, maybe you should examine this more and do a specific show on this on black identity and so why people have so much confusion.
Yeah,
you know?
that's actually a good topic.
You know what I'm saying? People going out to really looking at the mirror, like Jerry Clark said. You have no friends, but you got a friend in the mirror.
That's right.
Love those right. Love that skin color. Love that nappy hair. And those who bleach, that's not gonna save you either because they know you're black too.
Yeah, everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows. Like, we sitting up here running around. I'm Hebrew. And listen, and I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I'm just saying, okay? But I saw this video, y'all. Oh, man. And it was of Hebrew Israelites. I'm pretty sure probably a lot of y'all saw it too. I think Amadi had a thing. He did a thing on this. And it was a black man and woman, or, excuse me, Hebrew Israelite man and woman. And the police stopped them, and they start praying. Have y'all seen that?
No.
No, share it to me. Share, you gotta share that. I gotta see that.
They sat there and started praying and to the Most High and get these people from around my car. And
oh, you know what? I did see that. I think didn't Haven Bullets upload that? Yeah, I did see that.
I think he did.
Yeah, I did see that. That was disgusting. That was pathetic to watch. That was very sad. Like he really tried to win. He really was hoping the Most High came down and struck them cops dead. Like he really like this is how fucked up our minds are, people. Like listen, all these people that run around here with these identity crises, I just direct you to one hip hop song, the OJ story from Jay-Z. Listen to that. All right, that's how I feel about that's exactly how I feel about all you identity extremists.
Man, I mean, psycho. You know that was bruh. You know when I think about that, I say, you know, Jay-Z, what a genius. I think you know something that we don't know. That's why when you did that song, you said you're still a nigga.
Yep, still nigga.
That's your nigga wake up call.
You still nigga.
You're still a fucking nigga. You can't get around that.
Yeah, you can try to play all these little stupid.
Yo, we psychic.
But you had all these police standing around their vehicle with guns ready, locked and loaded, and they sitting in the car praying to the Most High to get them out of that situation, to get these devils or whatever you call them from around the car. And I just sat there sad. I mean, that just breaks my heart. You feel me? Because I'm like, we are. A lot of us are just so outmatched right now. Like, man, playing checkers and playing and these other games and these spooky things and different stuff. Like, and I'm not saying it to disrespect anyone's spiritual beliefs. You know, I respect people's, you know, having their own personal beliefs, but in terms of dealing with reality, you know, I'm sorry, but praying to the Most High in that moment didn't stop that situation. Like, we're just not being realistic. And then this other one, too, that Amadi showed with some Moors, okay? And they got stopped, and the police was asking for their ID and all that, and he's up there. The woman was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, let's just, you know, she was kind of freaking out, you can tell, but he was like, I'm not, what do you say, I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
That's what they always say. That's a sovereign trick. That's the sovereign trick. That they always say. They always try because
yeah. That's what the police officer said. The police officer said. He said you are in control of a motor vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on these roads.
Right.
So can I see your ID?
Yeah, but that's.
Can I see your ID?
Yeah,
I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
Yeah, that's a more.
I have
That's
a right to travel. I'm in all
that's what all sovereign people say. Not just Moors, whether you because that's another thing about this sovereignty thing. People act like this is just a Moorish thing. No, the Moors actually got this whole thing from the Klan. The Klan actually started this whole fake sovereignty movement and everything else after the Civil War was over, because they didn't want to comply to the new laws that was being put in place by them evil Northerners that won the war and everything. So you had a lot of Klansmen or people that practice their ideologies that started claiming sovereignty. So this isn't nothing new. This thing dates back all the way to them. So you got Klansmen still practice this. You got Klansmen who still practice this to this day. So this is nothing new. And then this is something that the Moors picked up. It's a scam. It doesn't work. It's just a way for people to make money, giving you false papers. All you gotta do is just YouTube search this crap to see that it don't work. I don't know how people get so caught up in this stuff. They got some slick. They done heard some slick talking. They done heard some slick talkers that sat up there, and told them some real good shit that they wanted to hear, and people will pay for things that they want to hear. They won't pay for the shit that they need to hear, but they will pay for the things that they want to hear. And if you telling them some good shit that they want to hear, they're going to come out of pocket. And that's all they do. They got some slick talking people that sound real good, and they talking them straight up out their money and giving them paperwork that got them thinking that they invincible to the law. No, you are not invincible to the laws of this land. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Man, it is hilarious. Talking about I'm traveling, I'm not driving. So when you're behind the wheel of a motor, what is it called? Automobile.
Motor vehicle.
Motor vehicle. I'm sorry. You're behind the wheel of a motor vehicle on road, right? That's not driving. I mean, it's small.
That's all
and I used to see this car sometimes. Like, I guess the person lives somewhere in my area. Hey, somebody has seen that. And the car was like around my area, whatever, I guess. And they had this sign they had in the back window that said "In Transit." No tags or nothing on it.
Mm.
It said "In Transit." And me and my aunt still talking about this. She said, I think I've seen that car before too. But then after a while, I didn't see it no more. So,
right.
They got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's this kind of stuff like that. I feel like, and again, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but some of that stuff becomes like wasted energy. You know what I mean? Because you know that this stuff does not fly. Why are you expecting a system to honor you that is built upon your death and oppression, right? Why would you ever think their law system is going to be like, yes, you are indigenous, you are sovereign, you don't have to pay this? Man, people always say this is a corporation. Exactly. Okay? So you got to pay. I don't give a damn, whatever. You got to pay. And when it comes to classifying you, as they did with the BIE, you are black. Sorry to tell you, sorry to say, but you black. So when we gonna start dealing with that, black people, as it's about to get cut off? But I want to thank all of y'all. Much love, everybody. But when we gonna start dealing with being black, dealing with where we at, not necessarily having to go back however many generations and this and that ago. We know they done lied. We know they done changed the history books. We know how they do, right? The history books are written by the winner. Okay? So, when are we going to start where we're at, like right now? Like right here and now. So with that, I'm going to say much love. And thank you, everybody. Deuces.
All right, yeah. I want to shout out everybody in the chat.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I want to shout out everybody out in the chat. You know, I wish we had more time to talk about this topic because it's a hotbed topic. I see there's a lot of people in the chat support the indigenous movement. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just not buying into it. I see somebody brought up a good point. You know, people are saying these are not the laws. This isn't their land. Isn't our laws? What is it? Our land, and so their laws don't apply. Something along those lines. And listen, the real indigenous people of this land, that only applies on the reservation. That what you're talking about with the councils and everything else, that only applies on the reservation. That doesn't apply anywhere else. You understand? Like, once they leave the reservation, they have to abide to all the normal laws that everybody else has to abide to. So if you indigenous black people out here want us to really, you know, live up to this, then you have to find us some reservations to move on to. Find us some reservations where this sovereignty can actually hold some weight. Because until you find some land and some reservations, none of this is going to even matter what you're talking about. But good luck with that, because we're still trying to get our 40 acres and a mule. So good luck trying to convince them that we're really indigenous and they owe us land. It's a wasted fight. Most people aren't going to believe you. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? I think we're wasting our time, to be honest with you. I don't even see the purpose in it. I don't believe it myself, me personally. I think it's just I think it's a bunch of us being confused and listening to the wrong people, because we're looking for something to attach ourselves to. That's what we like to do. We want to attach ourselves to something. Because, you know, the whole slavery thing, that's not a, you know, who wants to be attached to that, you know? But, you know, again, the truth hurts. You know, you understand? It is what it is. We just got to try to build up from that. But we keep trying to rewrite history every time because the old history don't feel right, then we're not getting anywhere. We're going to be stagnant. You understand? But, you know, if y'all really believe this and you really think I'm wrong and you really think, you know, that that we're truly indigenous to this land, this, that, and third, then, you know, doing it the way y'all doing it ain't going to happen, ain't going to get that done either. What y'all need to do is try to get some reservations built up. But then you got to still convince the people of this land that we're really indigenous to this land. But driving around with no tags and squatting in houses ain't convincing anybody of nothing except the fact that they think you're crazy. And you're trying to scam the country. You're trying to scam the taxpayers. That's what they're going to view it as. But if you're really trying to get something done, you need to fight. You still going to have to fight their laws. You still going to have to fight in the courts in order to get land for a reservation, so we can really truly be sovereign. Driving around with no tags does nothing. It does nothing. It's a wasted fight. You're still going to get the tickets. You're still going to go to court, and you're still going to have to pay the shit, or else you're getting warrants and everything else. And then you're going to end up locked up. It's just a waste. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Corinne Gaines lost her life because she was fighting a wasted fight. She was fighting a wasted fight. She was riding around with no tags and all this other stuff, everything else, thinking she was on a reservation when she wasn't. We have to get a reservation. If you want to live according to the way the indigenous people are living, like, you know, tax free, you know, driving around with no license, having our own council, policing our own, and this, that, and third, that's all cool. I'm with that. But you got to get a reservation. We have to get some land in order for that to happen. Again, driving around with no tags is proving nothing. It's proving nothing. So what are y'all going to do about this? Are y'all going to get us a reservation? You know what I mean? Like that, because that's what we're going to need. But it's a good, it's a good thought. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have our own motherfucking reservation, get some motherfucking casinos up, and we could build some fucking wealth. I would love that shit. It's not like I wouldn't want nothing like that. So, you know, it's a good dream, but that's what I think it is, a dream. You know, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm not here to judge people. I'm just giving my opinion on it. But, yeah. Let's see. No, you have to ask the states for that. You just take it. You just take it. You talking about revolution. I'm okay with revolution. I'm okay with revolution. But I'm not fighting for no indigenous stuff. I mean, because what you're talking about, we don't have to be claiming no indigenous stuff for what you're talking about. What you're talking about, we can still be black and do that. We don't have to be indigenous just to take shit. I mean, when you talking about taking shit legally, you talking about like, and then you're still talking about their laws. If you're talking about just taking it and they can't do nothing about it, then you must be talking about doing it according to their laws. That means again, you're still going to have to deal with their laws, no matter how you look at it. Unless you're just talking about whatchamacallit. Unless you're just talking about just taking over the whole thing and taking it all. And if that's the case, and again, we don't need to be calling ourselves Moors for that. We don't need to call ourselves indigenous for that. We can do that calling ourselves whatever. Shit, we can call ourselves Pokemon and do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's about action. Let's see. No, we're not. Alright, you know what? I gotta get ready to go, family. I wish I had more time, but this been running long and I got things I gotta do, and I could tell we about to be talking about this for a second. Yeah, we gonna mess around and do a whole hangout or show or something on this so we can build on this even deeper. I was hoping we went to the Waka Flocka thing a little earlier because I knew this was going to be a hotbed. But yeah, I want to shout out everybody in the live chat again. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my indigenous people out there. Shout out to all my black people out there, my Africans, my, you know what I mean, my Hebrews, all my nation people out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to all y'all, man. Hey, everybody, whatever you identify as, man. We all in the same motherfucking fight. Alright? At the end of the motherfucking day. I want to say peace and black power to everybody. You know what I mean? Just in case y'all didn't, you know what I mean? Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that bell as well so you get notified. If you haven't already, click subscribe on the black channel. The black building channel. Links in the description. Make sure you hit up Renee Black for any graphics. If you're looking for any graphics, designs, logos, or whatever, she'll take care of you. Make sure to hit her up. And again, I want to say peace and black power out there to the family. I'll catch y'all at the next show. I'm out.